held in October. But as the situation is evolving now, it becomes pretty clear that the elections are going to be held perhaps earlier than October. Or if the Liberal Party can perhaps salvage the situation with a change of leadership and continue till October. However, the NDP, the party that has now said that they will bring a non-confidence motion, the leader of that party, Jagmeet Singh, had said that even with a change of leadership, he would not want to continue supporting the Liberal government because they had failed on many counts. Now, as far as Justin Trudeau is concerned, the lack of confidence that was expressed by his own party members has been on for the last 6 months. But the nail in the coffin really for his leadership was when his own confidant, his ally, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Finance Minister, Chrystia Freeland, resigned in December. This happened as per her own letter, which was revealed on social media, that Justin Trudeau had asked her to step aside as the Finance Minister and that he would have given her another ministry. But she chose to resign from the cabinet completely. And this was because there was a difference of opinion in the way they were handling the economic situation in the country. Justin Trudeau had wanted checks of $250 to be given out to people who are battling inflation and also a housing crisis. There was also a 2-month GST holiday. Chrystia Freeland felt that this was not the right fiscal measure that the government should have taken, especially in face of the tariff war that is to start with the US come 20th of January when the president-elect of the US, Donald Trump, is going to take over. So she felt that the fiscal stand of the government was not correct, and she blamed Justin Trudeau for it. And that really weakened his leadership completely, or exposed the weakness of his leadership, considering his own allies, his Deputy Prime Minister, did not show confidence in him. And since then, it was pretty clear that Justin Trudeau will have to step aside as the leader of the Liberal Party. However, at the moment, it is unclear whether even with a change in leadership, this government can actually continue till October, which is the scheduled date of election, the federal elections in Canada, or whether the NDP, even with a change of Liberal leadership, will continue to bring a non-confidence motion once the House of Commons meets on the 27th of January, and whether the elections will be called in Canada earlier, perhaps in the spring itself. Radhika?
Right, Maha, of course, when we talk about the Prime Minister there, of course, what are the options that, lie ahead in terms of, we did hear that Trudeau's been speaking with the now Finance Minister to perhaps step in as the interim Prime Minister?
Well, there are some options that the Liberal Party will look at. And certainly the one option that they will look for is a leader who is certainly a lot more credible in the situation. But the fact is that the Canadians have had 10 years of the Liberal government with Justin Trudeau heading from the front, the Liberal Party. And in the last couple of years, the food inflation has been extremely high. There has been a massive housing crisis. The government has had to make many tweaks to the immigration policy that they have, because a lot of people have blamed immigrants for the problems that they have been facing. Coupled now with this, added to this rather, the impending tariff war with the US under President Donald Trump is something that the Canadians feel that the Liberal government would not have been able to handle under Prime Minister Trudeau. And so, therefore, certainly the Liberal Party needs a leader from amongst them who has certain amount of credibility. However, even with the kind of credibility, if they look for in a leader, for instance, anybody who is a senior cabinet member to take over in place of Justin Trudeau, the fact remains that the Liberal Party is on a very weak leg at the moment. The Conservatives have been bombarding the Canadians with ads, axe the tax, saying that they will make life easier for the Canadians. However, even the Conservative Party has not put forward any solutions that they are looking at. Only axing the tax is not going to help. That's what many Canadians feel, because where will the revenues come from? Where will some of the schemes that the Canadians value, as opposed to, say, for instance, the United States that doesn't look for instance, a medical care package that the Canadians have. The Canadians have medical insurance that is highly valued in Canada. There are a lot of crises connected to these as well. For instance, there's a shortage of medical staff here, there's a shortage of doctors, there's a shortage of nurses. All these aspects, the Conservatives haven't been able to provide any solutions, but they say that they will make life better for the Canadians. And in face of the failures of the Liberal Party on the count of inflation, the housing crisis, as well as other aspects, the only other alternative that many Canadians see is giving a chance to the Conservatives. The NDP was hoping that it could make some inroads, but at the federal level, the NDP, as many believe, is not as big a player as they are projecting themselves at the moment. Moreover, the fact that they have been supporting the Trudeau government all along for the last few years, supporting them from the outside, because the Trudeau government was a minority government, also doesn't give them a clean sheet to start off with, especially so early after they withdrew their support in September last year. It's only been about 4 months for them to build an image different from the Liberals. Divya?
Right, Maha, of course, it took 5 months for Trudeau himself to win the leadership race back in 2013, and the resignation by the Prime Minister really does not mean that the government would fall and a new elections would take place. For that, really, a no confidence vote in Parliament would be needed. So, Maha, we will keep coming back to you for more on that. Radhika, let's just move on to some more news.
Absolutely. This is with respect to Tamil Nadu Assembly session. In fact, Tamil Nadu Assembly session to begin today with the customary address of Governor in the New Year's. Of course, amid the alleged sexual assault of a woman student at Anna University campus, Divya, the tug of war continuing between Governor and ruling DMK. In fact, R.N. Ravi's address will certainly be closely watched within the Assembly.
That's right. So the session that's going to begin this morning, of course, in 2023, he did skip some parts of the speech given by the government and walked out after the Assembly adopted to record only the official version. The key opposition AIA-DMK is likely to raise the sexual assault case and the law and order issue along with the drugs issue as well. Moving on now, it is Prime Minister Modi who inaugurated the much-anticipated Janakpuri West Krishna Park Extension Metro Line with a grand rally that took place in the Rohini area of the national capital. But the political battle as far as the development in the city of Delhi is concerned has intensified. It is the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP warring yet again as far as the expansion projects are concerned over the metro services, Radhika.
That's right. So AAP versus BJP in the national capital. Prime Minister Modi taking sharp jibes at Aam Aadmi Party government. PM reiterating the AAPDA attack at the Aam Aadmi Party. In fact, former Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal also hitting back, saying it is the Aam Aadmi Party government that worked despite atrocity. Let's get you this report.
A war in Delhi over the national capital's development. Sunday saw AAP convener and former Delhi CM come face to face with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This after PM's third consecutive day of infra push for Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the much-anticipated Janakpuri West Krishna Park Extension Metro Line with a grand rally in Rohini. But the event wasn't just about development. It became a platform for political punches.
जिस आपदा सरकार के पास दिल्ली के लिए कोई विजन ना हो, वो दिल्ली के लोगों का विकास नहीं कर सकती। दिल्ली को आधुनिक बनाने के लिए जितने भी काम है, वो केंद्र की भाजपा सरकार ही कर रही है।
आज प्रधानमंत्री जी 38 मिनट बोले और 38 मिनट में से लगभग 29 मिनट वो दिल्ली के लोगों को, दिल्ली की चुनी हुई सरकार को गालियां देके गए हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी से लोग उम्मीद करते हैं एक विजन देंगे देश के लिए।
The Prime Minister accused the Delhi government of wasting time, fighting with the centre instead of focusing on governance. He cited the Namo Bharat Regional Rapid Transit System and Metro Phase 4 expansions as examples of the centre's commitment to the capital. And the polls round the corner, he raised BJP's Sheesh Mahal jibe too.
जाएंगे जब दिल्ली के लोग कोरोना से जूझ रहे थे, जब दिल्ली के लोग ऑक्सीजन और दवाओं के लिए भटक रहे थे, तब इन लोगों का पूरा फोकस अपना शीश महल बनवाने में था।
The AAP government claims it contributed rupees 7,278 crore to the metro project, while the BJP alleges that most of the credit goes to the centre. For Delhiites, though, the question remains, who really deserves the applause?
अपने ऊपर हुए अत्याचार को अगर हम मुद्दा बना लेते तो आज ये आरआरटीएस की लाइन नहीं बनती, आरआरटीएस का उद्घाटन नहीं होता केंद्र सरकार और दिल्ली सरकार का। और आज का ये जॉइंट वेंचर का उद्घाटन ये दिखाता है कि जब जब जरूरत पड़ी हम इनके सामने हमने हाथ जोड़े, इनके पैर पकड़े ताकि दिल्ली वालों के काम हो।
The debate over development isn't just about the metro. With the PM laying the foundation for Rithala-Kundli corridor, both parties are fighting for credit over these ambitious infrastructure projects.
The upcoming Delhi Assembly elections is going to be a true litmus test of popularity of two mass leaders, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal. So, of course, the political climate has heated up right ahead of the Delhi Assembly elections, which is scheduled to take place next month.
Anushka is joining us on the story. Anushka, politics heating up in the national capital. Aam Aadmi Party versus BJP over development and several other issues. It's Prime Minister Modi versus Kejriwal. Give us, a sense of the war of words that's been going on between the two parties.
Well, certainly, Radhika, with the assembly elections just ahead around the corner, the high-octane triangular contest in Delhi is all set. The stage is set, and also what we are seeing is that a political war of words has, in fact, is taking place in between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. Yesterday, also, we saw when the Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated, several projects in Delhi. He took a jibe at the Aam Aadmi Party national convener and ex-Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal that the Aam Aadmi Party is, in fact, an aapada for the people living in Delhi, and that people should vote for, the BJP, the Bharatiya Janata Party this time, because whatever development has took place in Delhi, that has taken place because of the central government. The Aam Aadmi Party has done nothing but to stall all those developmental projects, and that is why BJP is the party that should come, in power. To which the Aam Aadmi Party national convener Arvind Kejriwal has said that the only thing that the BJP knows how to do is that abuse the national convener Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party, and that all the development that took place, all the welfare schemes that are announced in Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal is going to fulfill all of that, and that this political battle, what also we are seeing is that this political battle is also heating up. With the assembly polls just around the corner, the BJP is in fact claiming that the Aam Aadmi Party is, we saw rounds of voter deletion roused between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP also. And also we are seeing that several BJP leaders are in fact taking to stage and saying that the Aam Aadmi Party has done nothing but being involved in corruption and making Delhi an unlivable place for the people who are in fact living in Delhi. Back to studio.
All right, so credit war over Delhi's development. Thank you, Anushka, for getting those details. Let's move on, Divya. US Ambassador to India Eric Garcetti met Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Vishnu Devsai, during which time the duo discussed investment possibilities in several sectors, including defense, logistics and IT sectors in the state.
That's right. Radhika Garcetti had promised to promote American investment in the energy, IT and defense sectors in Chhattisgarh and extended an invitation to the Chief Minister to participate in the 2028 Olympics as well. And of course, a big shout out as far as tea is concerned, saying that he loves tea is what Eric Garcetti had to say, in fact, to the Chief Minister of the state of Chhattisgarh. Moving on now to Myanmar, and of course getting news from there. It's also Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, who on Sunday said that 26 nationals from Myanmar who had earlier entered India through the state's border were deported to their country. A senior Manipur Home Department official said that these people were handed over to the authorities of the neighbouring country by the police in Manipur. Radhika.
That's right, and the central forces were deployed along the bordering More town since March 8 last year. 141 Myanmarese nationals, including women and children, Divya, in 4 different phases, have in fact been deported to their country. So with that, we'll slip into a short break. More news and updates coming on the other side.
That's right. We'll get you all the details of the Golden Globe Awards, that and a whole lot more. Stay with us.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
Welcome back. Let's get you the latest as far as the Golden Globes Awards is concerned, taking place at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Los Angeles. It's India's Payal Kabadia's All We Imagine As Light was nominated in 2 categories but has lost out in both the categories. She lost to Emilia Perez in the Best Film category and to Brady Corbett in the Best Director category. Do remember, All We Imagine As Light made history earlier this year as the first Indian film to win the coveted Grand Prix at the 2024 Cannes Film Festival, Radhika.
That's right. As far as the awards are concerned, Best Supporting Actress went to Zoe Saldana. Best Supporting Actor to Kieran Culkin. Best Actress in a Musical goes to Demi Moore, and Jodie Foster wins Best Actress in Limited Series. So these are the awards. But as you mentioned, Divya, All We Imagine As Light, directed by Payal Kapadia, did not take home the award for Best Non-English Language Motion Picture at the 82nd Golden Globe Awards. In fact, the film was nominated alongside Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, and The Seed of a Sacred Fig was bested by Emilia Perez, which claimed the coveted honor. While it didn't take home the prize, All We Imagine As Light made history as the first Indian film to be nominated in this category. Divya, let's go straight across to Abira. Abira, of course, as far as these awards are concerned, it's kicked off. All We Imagine As Light nominated, but has lost out on the Best Non-English Language Motion Film. But give us details of the ceremony awards so far.
It's a sad thing that we lost out Payal Kapadia's film All We Imagine As Light, but she still made history by becoming the only director from India to be ever nominated for Golden Globes, and we are extremely proud of that film. Like I said before, Barack Obama listed her film as one of the most must-watch films of 2024, and it continues to make waves all over the world. But here we are. I'm going to give you the give you the biggest awards that have been announced. Best Supporting Actress went to Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. Emilia Perez is a film to which Payal Kabadia's film All We Imagine As Light lost to. Emilia Perez is one of the most nominated film of 82nd Golden Globes Award, and till now it has won the maximum awards. Moving on, we have Jean Smart wins Best Female Actor in a TV comedy at the Globes. Karen Culkin wins Golden Globes for the best performance by a male actor in a supporting role. We had Ellie Wong, who has won the award for the best performance in a stand-up comedy on television for her special Single Lady. And we have Demi Moore. You know, Demi Moore came on stage. She won. She took home the Golden Globes for the film The Substance for best female actor in a film, musical or comedy. She came on stage and gave a beautiful speech, and she said that in my 45 years of my career, this is my first ever award. You know, and she got really emotional, and she said thanks to everybody who believed in her when she did not believe in herself, and it was extremely moving speech. It is a highlight of the Golden Globes this year for sure. We also had Jodie Foster win the Best Female Actor in a limited series for True Detective Night Country. So these are the few highlights till now.
Right, of course, Abira, Demi Moore winning the first award in 45 years of her career, and of course getting emotional there. But also it was, Selena Gomez, who was seen with her fiancé for the first time on the red carpet, and that they had never been photographed together before this. But also when we talk about, as far as our Indian entry is concerned, and Payal Kabadia there choosing to wear an Indian designer, reflecting modernity when it comes to Indian fashion. She chose Payal Khandwala as the designer. She wore a black pantsuit, a jumpsuit, black one. This is a silk jumpsuit that she chose to wear. Of course, and she's definitely created history by just being nominated in those two categories, and the first Indian woman to be nominated in the Best Director category. Thank you so much, Abira. We will keep coming back to you to get more on what's happening at the Golden Globes. Moving on now to getting you more news, and this is in regard to millions of Americans that are in the grips of this huge winter storm that could bring the heaviest snowfall and coldest temperatures in over a decade. Thousands of flights are delayed or cancelled, with St. Louis as well as Missouri and the worst hit airport, Radhika, when we talk about it. This is all because we're expecting very heavy snowfall in major areas. In fact, it's snowed more than it has in the last 10 years, and those are some of the states, and there's a warning set out for 6 states in particular.
That's right, Divya. Polar vortex has brought frigid weather down from the Arctic, with extreme weather conditions accompanying it in Kansas and Missouri are under blizzard warnings with whiteout conditions forecast. A state of emergency has been declared, as you said, in several states, including Kentucky, Virginia, and Kansas. Let's move on now. This is to do with updates from the national capital. Delhi authorities have issued guidelines to prevent HMPV breakout. In fact, Delhi health authorities issued advisory to ensure preparedness for potential health challenges related to HMPV, which is human metapneumovirus, and several other respiratory viruses, Divya.
That's right. The Director General of Health Services convened that meeting with Chief District Medical Officers and the State Program Officer of IDSP to discuss the preparedness to address respiratory illnesses in the national capital. As part of the recommendations, hospitals have been instructed to promptly report influenza-like illness and severe acute respiratory infection cases through their portal, the IHIP portal, and that those are the advisories that have been put into place in order to prepare for any sort of eventuality. And of course, Radhika, this is of course bringing us back to 2020 and reminding us of those first initial COVID cases.
On to some festive updates, Divya. As part of grand preparations for Mahakumbh 2025, Indian Railways has played a vital role in enhancing cultural and spiritual image of Prayagraj under the Paint My City campaign. All the railway stations of Prayagraj have been transformed into wonderful centers of art and culture, Divya.
That's right. The walls of these stations have been painted with grand and attractive artworks depicting Hindu mythology and Indian traditions. Our colleague Pallav has spoken to an artisan. Let's listen in to the inspiration behind.
प्रयागराज शब्द जैसे ही आपकी जुबान पर आएगा, आपके दिमाग में अपने आप एक अध्यात्म की तस्वीर बनने लगेगी और आप जब महाकुंभ मेले में आएंगे तो आपको इसका दर्शन भी होगा। हम आपको तस्वीर के जरिए दिखाते हैं कि ये देखिए जो मेला का पूरा क्षेत्र है, वहाँ पे किस प्रकार से जो है दीवालों पर जो पुल के पिलर्स हैं, किस तरीके से अध्यात्म का परिचय दिया जा रहा है, किस तरीके से धार्मिक कार्य किए जा रहे हैं और किस प्रकार से भगवान की तस्वीर बनाई जा रही है। कई जगह आपको भगवान की तस्वीर दिखेगी, कई जगह आपको वैदिक की तस्वीर दिखेगी कई दीवारों पर। तो पूरे शहर में आपको विभिन्न प्रकार के और कई थीम्स पर आपको पेंटिंग बनाई गई है। खासकर अगर आप देखें तो ये जो चबूतरा है, इसमें बिहार की जो मधुबनी पेंटिंग का जो है परिचय दिया गया है। तो एक तरीके से पूरे शहर को जो है आध्यात्म के रंग से सराबोर करने की कोशिश जो है की जा रही है। और ये इसके पीछे का जो पूरा माइंडसेट है, कैसे ये पूरा हो रहा है और कितना समय लग रहा है, इस पर बातचीत करने के लिए हमारे साथ आनंद है जो इससे जुड़े हैं। आनंद, पहले तो ये बताएं कि ये कितनी थीम्स है जिसका ये निर्माण किया जा रहा है, बनाई जा रही है, कहाँ कहाँ पे ये हो रहा है और कितने लोग लगे हैं आप लोगों के साथ इसको पूरा बनाने में?
जी, सबसे पहले सभी का प्रयागराज में स्वागत है। लगभग 49 थीम्स हमको मेला प्राधिकरण से दिया गया है और बात करें कलाकार की तो 1500 से अधिक कलाकार सभी यहाँ पर उपस्थित हैं और पूरे प्रयागराज में ये काम चल रहा है। और ख़ासकर इसमें भारत के लगभग सभी राज्यों से कलाकार यहाँ अपना प्रदर्शन दे रहे हैं। और सबसे बड़ी बात है कि अब जैसे आप पिलर्स देख रहे हैं, हाइट ज़्यादा है और यहाँ पर डेड फेस ऐसे भी हैं कि जहाँ पर ड्राइंग करने से वो एरिया एकदम न्यू लुक में आपको दिखेगा।
That's right. Now in these cold, harsh winter conditions, it's NDTV and the Uday Foundation that have, started the blanket donation drive this year again. We need about 60,000 blankets in order to help save lives and keep those less fortunate warm during the harsh winter. Blankets can be dropped off at the location on your screen. And with that, it's a wrap on this bulletin, but we'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, same place.
Back with more same time tomorrow, but till then, stay tuned.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
And Delhi gets a breather from the dense fog conditions. Visibility levels have improved drastically this morning, and it's not even that cold this morning. It's 11 degrees, that's 4 degrees warmer than usual for this time of the year. However, dense conditions of fog are expected to make a huge comeback tomorrow.
Download any single ID partner app, link your card and earn reward with Top Rank.
Get it free with single ID.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring
in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
Canadian media has said that Prime Minister Trudeau is expected to resign. He's expected to step down as the party chief. Will he continue till a new face, till they come up with a new face, or will there be an interim leader in his place is the big question. The police in Bihar have detained Prashant Kishore. They arrested him at 4 o'clock in the morning because he's been on an indefinite fast since the 2nd of January. This is while he pledges his support to the students who are protesting against the examination route. In the Formula E race case, the probe picks up pace with BRS leader KTR, who's likely to appear before the ACB, the Anti-Corruption Bureau, today. And in Tamil Nadu, the Assembly session is going to start today. A stormy session is expected. This is coming just on the heels of the Chennai rape case that took place at the Anna University. And at the Golden Globe Awards, it's Emilia Perez who wins big at the Globes. All we imagine as light loses out, but it is Payal Kabadia who has created history by being the first Indian woman to be nominated in the director category. And Demi Moore wins an award that was her first award in 45 years. Demi Moore gets very emotional while receiving her Golden Globe. A very good morning. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Divya Vadva. We have a whole lot lined up for you, including news coming in from Canada as Justin Trudeau is expected to announce that he will be resigning as Liberal Party leader. The Globe and Mail reported on Sunday, citing 3 sources, that it remains unclear whether Trudeau will immediately leave or stay on as a Prime Minister until a new leader is selected. But from what we're hearing is, of course, it is his party which has become very, very unpopular. It has very little time. If you do remember that Justin Trudeau took 5 months when he had become the Prime Minister back in 2013. And this time around, of course, not much time is left. And of course, we are expecting elections to take place very, very soon. Will they find an interim person to take his place? We have heard that Justin Trudeau has been in talks with the now Finance Minister, who is a very close friend of his. And he has been talking to Dominic LeBlanc in regard to stepping in as the interim Prime Minister. This is an announcement that is expected to come about soon after that very key meeting that's going to be taking place. This is in regard to Trudeau, who took over as the Liberal leader in 2013 when the party was in deep trouble and has been reduced to 3rd place in the House of Commons for the first time. So will he be stepping down? Will he remain in place until a new leader has been selected? Trudeau's departure would leave the party without a permanent head at a time when polls show that Liberals will badly lose to the Conservatives in an election that must be held by late October. His resignation, of course, is likely to spur fresh calls for a quick election to put in place a government, as far as, the state in Canada is concerned. And to get more on this, we have Maha joining us, to take us through what's really happening on the ground. Maha, very key meeting coming up, and that is when this announcement is expected. And of course, this comes at a time when, his resignation is, going to call for perhaps snap elections. And there's not much time as far as his party is concerned, which is extremely unpopular at the moment. Do remember, he had taken about 5 months before he was selected as the Prime Minister back in 2013. So where does this really leave his party?
A lot of his party members also blame Justin Trudeau specifically for the unpopularity of the Liberal Party. They feel that the economic situation in the country was not properly handled. There was rising inflation, housing crisis, because of which the party has been left vulnerable now electorally. And that is why there were calls for a leadership change in the Liberal Party. These calls have been made for the last over 6 months. Members of his party, as well as members of parliament of the Liberal Party, have been calling for his resignation as the party leader and have been asking for a fresh leadership to take them into the next election. But his situation became even more tenuous after his close ally, the Deputy Prime Minister and the former Finance Minister, Chrystia Freeland, resigned. She said that Justin Trudeau wanted to change her ministry, but she chose to step down from the cabinet instead. Since then, the NDP that had initially been supporting the Trudeau government, the minority government from the outside, but they had, remember, withdrawn that outside support in September. However, they were supporting the government on a case-by-case basis in Parliament. The leader of that party, Jagmeet Singh, had also said that he will bring a non-confidence motion against the Trudeau government come the 27th of January, when the House of Commons would have met again. That is when the situation for Justin Trudeau became absolutely difficult to continue with. Justin Trudeau realized that his party is not going to survive this non-confidence motion, because another important opposition party, Bloc Québécois, also said that they will not be supporting the government this time around. And it is under these circumstances now that reports are coming in, specifically Globe and Mail reporting, citing 3 sources, that Justin Trudeau is going to step aside as the leader of the Liberal Party, which means that he will no longer remain the Prime Minister. However, there is no clarity yet on who could take over and whether this is going to save the government, because the NDP has clearly said that even if there is a change in leadership, they will continue to go ahead with their non-confidence motion, and because they want this government to go immediately and fresh elections to be held. So this is where the situation is currently. There is a Liberal Party caucus on Wednesday, ahead of which it is expected that Justin Trudeau will announce his resignation, which means a Monday.
Right, Maha, also take us through the names that are doing the rounds in regard to who could really be taking charge as the Prime Minister if Justin Trudeau does step down.
So there are reports that suggest that Justin Trudeau has asked the current Finance Minister, Dominic LeBlanc, to step in as the leader of the party and continue heading the government. However, that would mean that he is not able to contest formally then as the leader of the party, and therefore it is unlikely that he may want to accept this kind of a proposal to continue to help continue this government. So the situation at the moment is quite fluid, as we can see here in Canada. We are waiting for the final announcement. It's Sunday night here in Canada at the moment. So on Monday morning, when the formal announcement is made by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau that he is stepping aside, it will be clear as to who then becomes the leader of the Liberal Party, and whether Jagmeet Singh, the NDP leader, the one who's going to call for a non-confidence motion later in the month, will a change in leadership at the moment scuttle their plans for a non-confidence motion? Well, earlier Jagmeet Singh had said that that will not change his plans, but in politics you never know whether the NDP might then want to not bring in that non-confidence motion and continue to support the Liberal government. Because remember, even for the NDP to have their own separate identity as a party that can go in for a federal election, they needed time. They've only snapped their ties with the Liberal Party in September. 4 months is not a long time for them to create an image that is separate from the Liberals. And at the moment, the unpopularity of the Liberal Party is something that could backfire for the NDP. Therefore, they would also need time to build their support base. However, at the moment, the only party that benefits from this situation is the Conservative Party of Pierre Poilievre.
Right. Thank you so much, Maha, for joining us all the way from Vancouver, getting us details of what does this really mean and what will this really mean as far as relationship between US and Canada is concerned. A lot of questions being raised there as well. So we will keep getting Maha back with us to get us more on that. Breaking news coming in regard to Chhattisgarh, the journalist murder. The main accused has been arrested. He has been held from Hyderabad. Do remember that the journalist was reporting on corruption. The body of the journalist that was found on the 3rd of January was found in that septic tank. Let's just go across to Anurag to get us more on this. Anurag, what details do you have for us? Where has the suspect in the case been arrested from? Well, the police said they're saying that the accused has been arrested in the journalist who was found dead in that septic tank. Let's just go across to my colleague Anurag, who's joining us. Anurag, what details do you have for us of the suspect who has been now finally arrested in the case? So, Suresh Chandrakar, the main accused in the Bastar journalist murder case, has been arrested from Hyderabad. That is the breaking news we are getting at the moment. Of course, this is in connection to the journalist who was found dead in that septic tank. So, the investigation into the murder case has taken a new turn as the investigators have identified his own cousin as the key accused. Of course, the 28-year-old journalist known for his investigative reporting had recently done an expose of an alleged corruption scandal involving 120 crore rupees road construction project in Bastar. The project worth of which went from 50 crores to 120 crores without any charges to the effect of the work scope was reportedly being handled by the contractor, and that contractor is the person who has now been arrested by the police from Hyderabad. We're talking about Suresh Chandrakar. We have Anurag joining us. Anurag, get us all the details from where the person responsible for the murder, the suspect of that murder of the journalist, take us through the details from where has he been arrested?
Yes, the SIT team arrested the prime accused Suresh Chandrakar last night from Hyderabad. His wife was also taken into custody yesterday evening in Kaker, and interrogation proceedings are ongoing. Suresh Chandrakar had been absconding since the incident because the 3 other accused have already been arrested in connection with the case. Suresh Chandrakar was hiding at his driver's residence in Hyderabad, and as the police sources have told us to track down the accused, the police reviewed footage from around 200 CCTV cameras and traced nearly 300 mobile numbers. And after this extensive investigation, the main accused, Suresh Chandrakar, was successfully arrested from Hyderabad.
The murder of journalist Mukesh Chandrakar has been arrested from Hyderabad. The contractor was on the run since the chilling incident when the body was found in a septic tank. Do remember that he was unrecognizable. It was his clothes that led the body of that independent journalist, missing since the 1st of Jan, was found with his body completely swollen, which bore multiple injuries to the head and back, was identified only by his clothes. And moving on now to more news coming in, and this is in regard to the Bihar police that have arrested Prashant Kishore from the Gandhi statue, the place of fast on to death at 4 o'clock in the morning, and took him to, they have taken him to an unknown place in an ambulance. Prashant Kishore has said that he will refuse treatment and will continue to be on that indefinite fast. You do remember he has been fasting since Thursday to press for the demand for the cancellation of the integrated 70th combined preliminary competitive test conducted by the BPSC or the Bihar Public Service Commission on the 13th of December. So in his solidarity with the protesting students, Prashant Kishore there protesting as well, but he was on an indefinite fast, but he has been picked up by the police in Bihar and has been taken away as early as 4 o'clock this morning. Manish joining us to get us more on this. Manish, where have they taken Prashant Kishore to?
Prashant Kishore has been taken to ESIC hospital in Behta, which is on the outskirts of Patna, and he will be produced once they get the clearance from the magistrate in the concerned court, or otherwise he will be produced before the magistrate at their residence, because today on account of Guru Gobind Singh Jayanti, all the offices and courts are closed here. So, as far as his arrest is concerned, the district administration has confirmed that he was not taken in custody, but he has been formally arrested because there was an FIR filed against him for sitting on dharna without any permission in the prohibited area. So, somewhere Prashant Kishore and his supporters also knew that there will be a crackdown from the administration, which has happened at around 4 in the morning. Now it is to be seen in the court whether the court grants him bail or remands him to the judicial custody. Divya.
Right, Manish, thank you so much. We will keep coming back to you for more on what's really happening with Prashant Kishore, who's been picked up by the police for being on that indefinite fast. And he says he will continue to fast on to death until those demands have been met by the government. Moving on now from Bihar to Telangana, and the ACB, the Anti-Corruption Bureau, has issued a notice to BRS working president and former Municipal Administration Minister KTR, that's KT Ramarao, asking him to appear before the investigating officer for questioning today. This is in connection with the ongoing probe into the alleged financial irregularities in the conduct of the Formula E car race, which took place in Hyderabad last year in the month of February. And let's just switch tracks to the Tamil Nadu Assembly session that's going to be starting this morning with the customary address of the governor in the new year amid the alleged sexual assault of a woman. This really comes on the heels of that case that took place at the Anna University campus, with the tug of war continuing between the governor and the ruling DMK. R.N. Ravi's address will be closely watched. Well, do remember in 2023 he had skipped some parts of the speech given by the government and walked out after the assembly adopted to record only the official version. The key opposition, AIADMK, is likely to raise the sexual assault case and the law and order situation, along with the drugs case, amongst many other issues that they are planning to rake up. But this really comes close on the heels of that case that took place at the Anna University of the sexual assault of a student on the campus. So it is going to be a stormy session at that. And of course, my colleague Sam Daniel has the details.
Tamil Nadu Assembly session begins today. Being the first session in the new year, it's the customary governor's address in which Governor R.N. Ravi is expected to deliver the speech given to him by the state cabinet. But in 2023, R.N. Ravi had skipped several key portions of the speech given by the state government. He refrained from reading names of leaders like Ambedkar, Periyar, Kamaraj, and phrases like Dravidian model and portions that dealt with the law and order in Tamil Nadu. But at that time, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin had immediately got a resolution adopted that recorded only the official speech given to the governor and not what the governor had made on the floor of the House. In 2024, that's last year too, the governor had skipped the official speech and made an extemporaneous speech, after which only the official speech given to him was taken on record. But this session comes amid the recent alleged sexual assault of a woman student on the Anna University campus in Chennai. Governor R.N. Ravi is the chancellor. Already, the key opposition, the AAP-BJP, is planning to rake up this issue on the floor of the House, and it remains to be seen whether Governor R.N. Ravi would yet again deviate from the speech given to him by the ruling DMK. Today it's just the governor's address and the translation by the speaker. The Business Advisory Committee would decide on how many days would this session be held. But already there are indications that the key opposition, AAP-BJP, would rake up several issues, including the sexual assault on the Anna University campus, besides law and order, women's safety, drugs, and a few other issues. Elections are due in 2026, and already the key opposition is training its guns to turn the heat on the ruling DMK. The ruling party, of course, denies these allegations, saying that within 5 hours since the survivor had made her complaint, the police had nabbed the alleged perpetrator. Investigation is underway. The High Court has also constituted a special investigation team, and they deny incidents like this could be termed as a reflection of declining law and order. In Chennai, Sam Daniel, NDTV.
Right, thank you so much, Sam, for joining us with those details. But the first session of the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly in 2025 is set to start in minutes from now, literally 10 minutes from now at 9:30 in the morning, and it's going to begin with the customary governor's address, interacting with reporters. Of course, this is the speaker saying that they will decide, it is going to be a very stormy session, as that what people are expecting, on the lines of, because of the fact that this comes on the heels of that sexual assault case that allegedly took place at the Anna University. Switching tracks from Tamil Nadu to the national capital is Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who inaugurated the much-anticipated Janakpuri West and Krishna Park Extension Metro line with a grand rally that took place in the Rohini area of Delhi. But the political battle over the development in Delhi intensified, with the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP again warring over the expansion plans as far as metro services are concerned in the national capital. The Prime Minister took sharp jabs at the Aam Aadmi Party government. He reiterated that the attack as far as the Aam Aadmi Party's former Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is concerned. It is Aam Aadmi Party, Chief Arvind Kejriwal who would back, saying that the Aam Aadmi Party worked despite atrocities. Politics heating up in the national capital is the Aam Aadmi Party versus the BJP over the development and many other issues. Let's get you a sense of what really took place as far as this particular war of words is concerned.
A war in Delhi over the national capital's development. Sunday saw AAP convener and former Delhi CM come face to face with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This after PM's third consecutive day of infra push for Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the much-anticipated Janakpuri West Krishna Park Extension Metro line with a grand rally in Rohini. But the event wasn't just about development. It became a platform for political punches.
जिस आपदा सरकार के पास दिल्ली के लिए कोई विजन ना हो, वो दिल्ली के लोगों का विकास नहीं कर सकती। दिल्ली को आधुनिक बनाने के लिए जितने भी काम है, वो केंद्र की भाजपा सरकार ही कर रही है।
आज प्रधानमंत्री जी 38 मिनट बोले और 38 मिनट में से लगभग 29 मिनट वो दिल्ली के लोगों को, दिल्ली की चुनी हुई सरकार को गालियां देके गए हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी से लोग उम्मीद करते हैं एक विजन देंगे देश के लिए।
The Prime Minister accused the Delhi government of wasting time fighting with the centre instead of focusing on governance. He cited the Namo Bharat Regional Rapid Transit System and Metro Phase 4 expansions as examples of the centre's commitment to the capital. And the polls round the corner, he raised BJP's Sheesh Mahal jibe too.
जब दिल्ली के लोग कोरोना से जूझ रहे थे, जब दिल्ली के लोग ऑक्सीजन और दवाओं के लिए भटक रहे थे, तब इन लोगों का पूरा फोकस अपना शीश महल बनवाने में था।
The AAP government claims it contributed rupees 7,278 crore to the metro project, while the BJP alleges that most of the credit goes to the centre. For Delhiites, though, the question remains, who really deserves the applause?
अपने ऊपर हुए अत्याचार को अगर हम मुद्दा बना लेते तो आज ये आरआरटीएस की लाइन नहीं बनती, आरआरटीएस का उद्घाटन नहीं होता केंद्र सरकार और दिल्ली सरकार का। और आज का ये जॉइंट वेंचर का उद्घाटन ये दिखाता है कि जब जब जरूरत पड़ी हम इनके सामने हमने हाथ जोड़े, इनके पैर पकड़े ताकि दिल्ली वालों के काम हो।
The debate over development isn't just about the metro. With the PM laying the foundation for Rithala-Kundi corridor, both parties are fighting for credit over these ambitious infrastructure projects.
The upcoming Delhi Assembly elections is going to be a true litmus test of popularity of two mass leaders, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal. So, of course, the political climate has heated up right ahead of the Delhi Assembly elections, which is scheduled to take place next month.
Staying with news from the national capital, it's the Namo Bharat trains that have arrived here. It was Prime Minister Modi who inaugurated the Delhi section of the rapid rail transit systems, 13-kilometer section of the Delhi-Meerut regional rapid transit system from Sahibabad in Uttar Pradesh to New Ashok Nagar, which is now operational. So with this, this is going to be a stretch over 55 kilometers with 11 stations. Commuters can now travel from New Ashok Nagar to Meerut in a matter of 40 minutes. Take a look.
In a major boost to connectivity between Delhi and NCR towns in Uttar Pradesh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the 13-kilometer long section of the Rapid Rail Transit System or RRTS connecting New Ashok Nagar in Delhi to Sahibabad in Uttar Pradesh. The move promises to reduce travel time significantly, bringing Meerut within reach of the national capital in under 40 minutes. Meerut is 73 kilometers away from Delhi, and this cuts down travel time by one-third. As part of the inauguration, the Prime Minister took a ride on the Namo Bharat train from Sahibabad to New Ashok Nagar, interacting with passengers and experiencing the rapid transit system firsthand.
मेट्रो नेटवर्क दोगुने से भी अधिक हो चुका है। आज जनकपुरी और कृष्णा पार्क के लिए भी मेट्रो शुरू हो चुकी है। रिठाला, नरेला, कुंडली कॉरिडोर पर भी काम शुरू हुआ है। ये जो नमो रेल प्रोजेक्ट है, ये भी केंद्र सरकार बना रही है।
The Delhi-Meerut RRTS corridor, an ambitious project worth 30,000 crore, is a game changer for commuters. The fare from New Ashok Nagar to Meerut South is 150 rupees for a standard coach and 225 for a premium coach.
So we are also showing you a demo of the seats here. Now in Delhi Metro, there were parallel seats opposite side of each other. Now this, we can see that this can get reclined, so two people can sit here quite comfortably. Also, there is this charging point, a USB cable point wherein people can charge their mobile phones. Also, we have a space, to keep our luggage. This is one thing that is quite different from the Delhi Metro since the RRTS is entering Delhi NCR for the first time, making this this whole journey from the New Ashok Nagar to Meerut South quite comfortable, because we are also seeing that this is one of a kind, quite a revolution in the transportation sector. Also, a new era of transportation can begin from here, because this is like quite a significant step towards making transport not just convenient but also faster and money efficient in a manner where people can have both the experience and also can save a lot of time while traveling through the Namo Bharat RRTS train.
We are going just for the sake of experience to test the speed of the train, and we feel thrilled that these kind of good things are coming to our country, and privileged to be in the capital and traveling by these kind of infrastructures.
We want to make it like Japan. We are experiencing the Japan festival. Equally excited.
And this is one good opportunity for us. Like if we talk about like going to Meerut by this local bus or something, it charges like almost like more than this. But still, I'm getting like less of the time, and I'm going there, so this feels really good.
As more sections on the RRTS become operational, this cutting-edge transport network is likely to boost economic opportunities and increase interdependence between Delhi and these NCR towns.
And with more stations expected to open soon, such as Sarai Kale Khan and Jangpura, the RRTS is set to revolutionize the commutes between the Delhi NCR and Meerut South. With camera person Gauri Prasad, this is Anushka Garg for NDTV.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Download any single ID partner app, link your card and earn reward with top rank.
Get it free with single ID.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India.
today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy,
Welcome back. Let's get your news coming in from Canada as Justin Trudeau is expected to announce that he will be resigning as the Liberal Party leader. It's a Global and Mail that has reported on Sunday, citing 3 sources. It remains unclear whether Trudeau will leave immediately or stay on as the Prime Minister until a new leader is selected. And to get more on this, we have Daniel Boardman, a Canadian journalist, joining us. Thank you so much for speaking with us here at NDTV. Would you say that his resignation was on expected lines? Was his resignation inevitable?
It's a bit of a strange thing, because if it was any other leader of any other party at any other point in Canadian history, he would have been forced to resign, I mean, years ago. But especially like the most recent scandals with, his own deputy prime minister saying pulling the whole "you can't fire me, I quit" shtick. And the fact that over half his own caucus has come out against him. I mean, any other leader of any other party would have been forced to resign instantly. But this is Justin Trudeau. This is the modern Liberal Party. This is modern Canada. And he seems to have no shame in any way. So he's very willing to sort of grasp onto power by any means necessary. So the rumors that he's set to resign could be true. I mean, it wouldn't be shocking. I mean, any other politician in this scenario would be forced to resign. The government is completely untenable. But in sort of a weird way, the fact that Canadian parties can be whipped and very much controlled by their leaders. So between the two of them, between Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh, if both of those two don't win an election, it is still possible to kind of hold out until October. But if it was any other person, they would have been forced to resign instantly. But he is so, I don't know, I guess narcissism is the word. He is incredibly narcissistic that he's refused to take any accountability for his actions. So we do know there's lots of pressure on him to resign, but there's always been a lot of pressure on him to resign over the last few years due to like the massive amount of just scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal where, from week to week, it's some new major scandal. So I wouldn't be shocked if he does resign today, but I also wouldn't be surprised if this just turns out to be rumors, because again, there's 2 factions within the Liberal Party now, ones that want him gone and ones that want him to stay. So this is just a rumor, and it's not so far-fetched that someone who's part of the anti-Trudeau faction could leak a rumor to the Globe and Mail to put more pressure on him to try and force him to resign and enforce a leadership. But again, this is all rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic for the Liberal Party. They're projected to get 6 seats, and if they change Trudeau as leader, maybe they could get 15 seats out of 333. I mean, they're still going to get obliterated electorally. So, what's the difference between 6 and 15?
Right. Can Justin Trudeau maintain his position as Prime Minister while the Liberal Party chooses a new leader? There are reports suggesting that Trudeau's advisors are working on a plan in order to save his chair. Do you think they can manage to pull that off?
We're all kind of in uncharted territories here. Like, no one's really sure. Like, it might be technically possible to stay on as Prime Minister, but like resign as leader. But I don't. Like in practicality, that's never happened. When you resign as leader of the party, there's a new interim leader of the party, and they would then become prime minister. But again, all of this is very, very unpopular with Canadians. Canadians know that Donald Trump's administration is coming in on the 20th. He does despise Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland and pretty much everyone in the Liberal Party for good reason. I mean, they spent the last 10 years, 8 to 9 years, let's say, just Trump bad as a key part of their foreign and domestic policy. So it wouldn't be shocking if again the Liberals get in and pull some sort of shenanigans where he's still prime minister but not leader. But it would make no sense. Again, we're all in our uncharted territory here. The government should have collapsed months ago, and should collapse any minute now. But it requires the leader of the Liberal Party to have no shame, no love of country, no love of party, no love of anything other than himself. And that's kind of what we had. So this is pretty indicative of Justin Trudeau just no regard for even his own liberal party, which he claims to care about. So he'll burn down the country. We all know that, but now he showed he'll burn down the Liberal Party just to, I don't know, be king of Canada for a few more months. Like, I think he really loves being president of the G7 this year and calling him president. He's going around calling himself president of the G7. This is things Trudeau loves. Trudeau loves international nonsense. He wants to be chief UN ambassador to social justice, climate change feelings. This has always been a major goal of his, is to be like internationally recognized as some sort of vapid international head of something. So with G7 set to come to Canada, I mean, this is sort of his fantasy, is to just call himself captain and president of the G7. And very much, you know, if you can tell in Canada, he very much enjoys declaring himself president of the G7 right now. So I think that's, I mean, it's crazy to sound, that kind of is, I think, his primary motivation going forward, is he wants to have the G7 in Canada and, you know, sort of pretend he's king of the world for a week. But is that enough to keep the entire government in place? We'll find out. But again, we're in uncharted territory in Canada, because any other leader would have been forced out months ago by some of these scandals. But he's just kind of just showed that if I just ignore the scandals and blame it all on Stephen Harper or Pierre Poilievre or Donald Trump or someone else, or Indian foreign interference, right? It's the Indian government's reason why I'm unpopular with Canadians, so I'm not going to resign because Canadians love me. They're just being tricked by Modi or something into not liking me. These are all semi-possible Trudeau explanations to his behavior.
Right. So, Daniel, does the souring of the India-Canada relationship have any role to play in the unpopularity of the Liberal Party and the fall of Justin Trudeau and his reported decision to step down?
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, he being incredibly unpopular in India, and Canadians don't like generally fighting with allied countries. But the India stuff is usually just used as sort of like a band-aid to distract from other situations. And I think it's really the core issues are why he's unpopular. And you could say the core issues are why he's unpopular has been why he's tried to do the India pivot to try and distract from his other problems. But Canadians, like at this point, far more than they care about India, foreign interference, any of this, they care the fact that the economy's in the toilet. The fabric of the country is falling apart. There's mass migration. There's social unrest. The reason why the Liberals and the NDP are unpopular is because their failed domestic policies primarily. And yeah, some people are also upset by his failures in foreign policy, because he is a big failure in foreign policy too. But again, as a thing, very few people vote on foreign policy. Most votes are driven by domestic issues. So Trudeau's unpopularity is primarily due to the way he soured relations with India. He's also soured relations with the Canadian public, because his attitudes toward the Canadian public and his antipathy are not very different than his antipathy towards India.
Right. Thank you so much, Daniel, for joining us with all those details. Switching tracks now, after an appeal from West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee in a shining example of maritime collaboration and exchange of prisoners, mainly fishermen who inadvertently crossed into the other country's waters, took place between India and Bangladesh. The Indian Coast Guard said that it was a mutual exchange of fishermen coordinated with the Indian Coast Guard and the Bangladesh Coast Guard, and this is about 95 of the Indian fishermen have been brought back and they have been handed over, while 90 Bangladeshi fishermen, including 12, rescued from the sunken boat Kaushik. The exchange took place at a time when ties between India and Bangladesh are strained, but the effort is significant as it comes at a time of strained ties between the two countries. But it is Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee who's likely to meet the Indian fishermen who have been returned back to India from Bangladesh. We have my colleague Saurabh joining us to get us more on this. Saurabh, what time is this meeting expected of Mamata Banerjee, who's expected to be meeting with those fishermen who've finally been brought back to the country? Right, we will have Saurabh back with us, a technical issue there, but 95 Indian fishermen who have been repatriated back to India. These Indian fishermen have been brought back. They're expected to be meeting with Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. That meeting is coming up, and of course this was a swap and exchange between Bangladesh and India. India has got back 95 fishermen, while Bangladesh has got 90 fishermen in return. So this is, the Indian Coast Guard and the Bangladesh Coast Guard together have, coordinated this maritime collaboration. It's a shining example of that collaboration in exchange of prisoners, mainly these fishermen who inadvertently had crossed into the other country's water, and this took place on Sunday. A very crucial move there, coming about at a time, a very significant time there, given the fact that Sheikh Hasina has been in New Delhi, and something that Bangladesh has been asking for India to return Sheikh Hasina back to Bangladesh. And of course, it is Bangladesh that has now finally in order. We have Saurabh joining us. She's back with us. Saurabh, take us through the details of this exchange that took place yesterday, and what time is that meeting coming up with Mamata Banerjee?
Well, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee arrives in Gangasagar later in the day, and of course after that one can expect her to meet those fishermen who are being brought ashore this morning. The exchange, of course, took place in the sea yesterday, and of course, like you mentioned, 90 Bangladeshi fishermen were sent back to Bangladesh, and 95 Indian fishermen have been repatriated and they're being brought back. Now, these are, of course, good signs, because even amidst a troubled relationship, at this point where the ties are strained, at least these exercises that, keep the relationship going. And like the Indian Foreign Secretary has said, that the Bangladesh-India relationship is not limited to one aspect. There are multiple aspects. And of course, these are some of the aspects. We share such a long maritime boundary as well, riverine border as well. And fishermen venturing into each other's territory is a very common occurrence in Bengal. And many of them languish in prison for years. But this exchange, of course, means that many of them come back to their families, and some of them who are being sent back to Bangladesh were rescued.
Breaking news coming in regard to Tamil Nadu's assembly session that has started at 9:30 this morning with that customary address of the governor in the new year amid the alleged sexual assault of a woman student at the Anna University campus. So that tug of war continuing between the governor and the ruling DMK. R.N. Ravi's address there that is going to be closely watched. To remember, in 2023, he skipped some parts of the speech given by the government and walked out after the assembly adopted to record only the official version. The key opposition AAP-BJP is likely to raise that sexual assault case, that alleged sexual assault case that took place at the Anna University, and of course raking up issues of law and order, safety of women, along with the drugs issue that is posing to be a problem. So those are the issues that are going to be raked as far as the assembly session is concerned, beginning at 9:30 this very morning. So in the last 2 years, several dramatic scenes were witnessed during the governor's customary address, where he skipped a few lines, avoided reading the government version of the address. This year, expectations have been set regarding how the session will progress. The ruling DMK government is facing challenges as its allied party. The VCK has also submitted a notice to the Speaker to discuss the incidents and issues surrounding the Anna University. The first day itself, today, is expected to be intense, with many political developments anticipated in the state. Of course, this comes at a time when a special investigation team has been formed to investigate the alleged sexual assault case at the Anna University and conduct searches themselves at the residence of one of the accused. Second-year student of Anna University was allegedly sexually assaulted on the Anna University campus, and the Chennai police there, one person has so far been arrested in the case. In the complaint that was being made, the student has alleged that it was an unidentified man that had threatened and sexually assaulted her when she was talking to her friend on the campus, and this took place at 8 o'clock in the evening within the confines of a safe environment like a university. So, of course, that issue is expected to be raked up. This is the first assembly session of this year in Tamil Nadu. This comes amid the controversy surrounding that sexual assault case. Live visuals on your screen. We are anticipating to start with the opposition trying to raise those key issues during the designated 0 hours. Of course, that governor formally there to present that customary address on the New Year's first assembly session. So the first assembly session that started about there visuals on your screen coming in with that customary address that's going to be taking place with Governor R.N. Ravi there formally presenting that customary address, and of course this comes on the very crucial time because the last time around in 2023 we did see that some parts of that address, a few lines were skipped and avoided reading the government version of the address. And of course, we are talking about this really is a time when safety of women, the law and order situation, those issues that are going to be raked up, and they are going to be raked up given the fact that this is coming very close on the heels of the sexual assault case that took place at the university in the Anna University. Well, we have Sam joining us. Sam, take us through what can we expect today, given the fact that that customary address is expected by the governor, but extreme, highlighting the issues as far as the governor and the ruling DMK is concerned. All eyes will be closely watching R.N. Ravi's address.
To begin with, Divya, R.N. Ravi, the governor of Tamil Nadu, has walked out of the Tamil Nadu Assembly after raising his protest that the Assembly should play the national anthem in the beginning. And he did not deliver the customary address. And this happened amid protests on the floor of the House by Congress MLAs asking the governor, alleging the governor is not working towards the interests of Tamil Nadu. Simultaneously, the key opposition, AAP-BJP members too, raised slogans with placards in their hands on the alleged sexual assault at Anna University recently. So the governor's speech did not happen. In 2023, the governor had deviated from the speech given to him by the state cabinet. He did not read names like Periyar, Ambedkar, Annadurai. He avoided reading references to Dravidian model and also certain portions of the speech on law and order in Tamil Nadu. This time, last year, he had given an extemporaneous speech, but just like 2023, the Assembly immediately adopted a resolution to record only the official speech given to the governor, not what he made on the floor of the House. There was expectation it could repeat today, but governor took a different issue in hand and has walked out. As we speak now, the key opposition, AAP-BJP, has been evicted by the Tamil Nadu Speaker after the members came to the well of the House, raised slogans on the alleged sexual assault at Anna University and held placards. As we speak now, they're protesting outside the Assembly, and we'll have to wait and watch how this would develop in the coming days as the session would gather from tomorrow after the customary governor's address. As we speak now, the Tamil Nadu Speaker is reading the translation of the speech originally given to the governor by the state government. He's reading that. And the real session would, in that sense, begin from tomorrow. But certainly the key opposition has given indications that it's going to raise several issues, including the alleged sexual assault at Anna University, law and order in Tamil Nadu, women's safety, drugs in Tamil Nadu, and several other issues. The ruling DMK has denied the alleged sexual assault as an indication of declining law and order in Tamil Nadu, saying after the survivor had made a police complaint, the alleged perpetrator investigation is underway, and the Madras High Court too has constituted a special investigation team. But certainly this session comes amid several questions in terms of law and order, in terms of women's safety, in terms of drugs across Tamil Nadu, and elections are due in the states in 2026, a little over 1 year, and the opposition is using every opportunity to turn the heat on the ruling DMK. Divya.
That's right, and the governor himself had personally inspected the student rape issue at the Anna University, and it remains to be seen whether, of course, this comes at a time when that customary speech hasn't taken place. It's a traditional part of the Legislative Assembly's first session every year. It's, outlines the state government schemes, policies and achievements, but it's the governor who, after accepting the speaker's invitation to deliver the address, the governor had accepted that, but the governor who was expected to deliver that speech at 9:30 in the morning, visuals on your screen of, the governor there leaving without delivering his customary address. And switching tracks now to the Golden Globe Awards, it's India's Payal Kapadia who was nominated in 2 categories for her film All We Imagine as Light. She lost both those categories, and of course she lost that Best Director award, but she's the first Indian woman. She has created history by becoming the first Indian woman to be nominated in the Best Director category. She lost the award to Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, and also it was her chance to win in the Best Motion Picture category, non-English language, but she lost to Emilia Perez. So, let's also get you some of the nominations that won, in fact, and to get more on that, we have Abira joining us. Abira, Payal Kabadia choosing to wear Payal Khandwala. She chose that black jumpsuit, but, disappointment there. However, history has been created, nominated for 2 Golden Globes, and that too for the first time, an Indian being nominated in the Best Director category.
Best Director. Absolutely, we are very proud of her. Win, no win, doesn't matter. She was nominated and she did create history. And like we said, All We Imagine as Light, the whole world is talking about that film. Barack Obama listed it as the must-watch, one of the must-watch films of 2024. It has been winning awards all over the world in different international film festivals. In India, it was released, and everybody is really appreciating the film. And Payal Kabadia is, of course, making us proud. And namesake, we say that she's wearing Payal, the designer, a black jumpsuit, very elegant on the Golden Globes red carpet. But let me get you the highlights of what happened at the Golden Globes today, the big wins. So we have Shogun, who won 4 Globes. It won the Best Male Actor, Best Female Actor in a Drama TV Best Performance by a Male Actor, a Supporting Role, and the Best TV Drama. And also Emilia Perez has won 4 Globes once again. So both of them have competed well, and both of them have got 4 Globes. Emilia Perez has got Best Supporting Actress, Best Non-English Language Film, Best Original Song, Best Musical or Comedy Film. So these are the 2 big wins of 2025 Golden Globes. And other than that, we saw Demi Moore come on stage and accepting her award for the first time. She said in a very emotional speech that in my 45 years of career, this is my first award. She was called a popcorn actress by some filmmakers. She didn't name the filmmaker, and she lost all hopes of ever winning an award. And there she was making a very emotional speech that will live with us forever. That was a great moment at the Golden Globes today. And of course, we had the host of the show, Nikki Glaser, who tickled some funny bones, and the audience seemed to have a great time at the Golden Globes.
Absolutely. Of course, Demi Moore there looking like $1 million, winning her first ever Golden Globe in 45 years. And Selena Gomez seen her with her fiancé there as well. So, Veera, a lot of action taking place that took place as far as the Golden Globes is concerned. And India there representing, that film of Payal Kabadia. Of course, just being nominated is an honor in itself. Thank you so much, Veera, for joining us this morning. And it is very cold here in North India, and in order to save some lives, we need about 60,000 blankets. NDTV and Uday Foundation's blanket donation drive is back. We need 60,000 blankets in order to help save lives and keep those less fortunate warm during the harsh winter season. The blankets can be dropped off at the location on your screen. It's D233 Sarvodaya Enclave in the National Capital. The pin code is 110017. The phone numbers are on your screen. And with that, it's a wrap on this bulletin. News and updates will continue on the other side. Do stay with us.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Home Minister Amit Shah tweeted about the Prime Minister saying that Modi ji has gifted various development projects worth 12,200 crore rupees to the people of Delhi. The Modi government is committed to providing world-class connectivity and transport facilities across the country. With the launch as far as Namo Bharat train and the expansion of metro services is concerned, the people of Delhi will get relief for problems. These are problems caused by increasing traffic along the fast and safe as well as affordable mode of transportation. The aim of the Modi government is to make the lives of Delhiites easier.
And it's like a day, my own rewards, मैं everywhere, कहीं से भी करूँ collect, spend करूँ
Download any single ID partner app, link your card and earn reward with top rank.
Get it free with single ID.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
Mahakumbh, a festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of maximum city is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
It's been a stormy start to the Tamil Nadu Assembly session. The AAP-BJP and BJP MLAs walk out of the Assembly. The opposition protests are over the Chennai rape case. Embattled Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is likely to resign as the Liberal Party leader amid growing calls within the party to step aside. The Globe and Mail is reporting, but it's unclear whether Trudeau will resign immediately or stay on as Prime Minister until a new leader is selected. Suresh Chandrakar, the prime accused in the murder of Mukesh Chandrakar, a Chhattisgarh journalist, has been taken into custody by an SIT from Hyderabad. The Formula E race case probe picks up pace. BRS leader K.T. Rama Rao is likely to appear before the Anti-Corruption Bureau shortly. Four awards each for the series Shogun at the Golden Globes. The film Emilia Perez has also won big at the Golden Globes 2025. It's 10 a.m. You are watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Parmeshwar Bava. A big focus currently, it's been a stormy start to the Tamil Nadu Assembly session. I must inform you that the AAP-BJP and BJP MLAs have actually walked out of the Assembly. The opposition is protesting over the Chennai rape case. In fact, R.N. Ravi walked out over the national anthem as well. It's been a dramatic situation playing out within the assembly, and it's the first day there. It's the Tamil Nadu governor versus the DMK. In fact, the governor walked out over the national anthem. Meanwhile, with the tug of war continuing between the governor and the ruling DMK, in case you remember, back in 2023, he had skipped some parts of the speech given by the government and also walked out after the assembly adopted to record only the official version. The key opposition, AIA-DMK, is likely to raise the sexual assault case. They've already walked out of the assembly in the first few moments. And the law and order issue, along with the drugs issue, is expected to feature in this assembly session in Tamil Nadu. Dramatic visuals coming in from the assembly session in Tamil Nadu today. It's had a stormy start with AIA, DMK and BJP MLAs walking out of the assembly. On the right-hand side of your screen, you can see live visuals as the stormy session kick-started of the Tamil Nadu Assembly. The BJP MLAs and AIA, DMK members have walked out of the assembly. The opposition is protesting over the Chennai rape case. As you know, there has been a tug of war continuing between the governor and the ruling DMK. This can be traced back to the year 2023, actually, when he skipped some parts of the speech that were actually given by the government and walked out after the assembly adopted to record only the official version. As far as the AIA, DMK and the BJP are concerned, they are likely to raise the sexual assault case and the law and order issue, along with highlighting the drugs menace. Live visuals coming in from the left side of your screens at the moment. It's had a stormy start, the Tamil Nadu Assembly session, with BJP and AIA-DMK MLAs walking out as soon as the session began. There have been dramatic scenes playing out at the Tamil Nadu Assembly session as it kick-started. The opposition is protesting over the Chennai rape case. Sam Daniel has been tracking all the developments for us. In fact, he was inside the Assembly session. Sam, bring us up to date with what's been happening since that session kick-started.
Parameshwar, three important developments. One, to begin with, it was supposed to be the day for the governor's customary address. The governor, R.N. Ravi, did not make that address. Instead, he took on the ruling DMK, saying that the assembly should play the national anthem first, and just playing the Tamil anthem alone would not be fine, and objecting that, he walked out. So there was no speech delivered by the governor, and even as he spoke these words, the Congress-led allies of the DMK also had raised slogans against the governor, and the key opposition, AAA-DMK members too, came to the well of the house, raising slogans on the alleged sexual assault at Anna University campus. They also held placards. As the governor walked out, the Tamil Nadu speaker asked the AIA-DMK members to calm down, take their seats, but since that did not happen, he ordered them to be evicted. Hence, the marshals had to send them out. And as we speak now, for some time, the AIA-DMK members, led by the former Chief Minister AAP-BJP, raised slogans outside the assembly, and now they have got back into their chambers now. And this is going to be a stormy session, with the AIA-DMK planning to rake up the issue of the alleged sexual assault on the Anna University campus recently, and also to take on the ruling DMK on issues of law and order, women's safety, drugs, and a few other issues. And at the moment, there's no formal response from Raj Bhavan. We understand there was one tweet, but it was immediately deleted on the X platform. But the governor making an issue of the national anthem not being played in the beginning of the session and walking out. Tamil Nadu Assembly has a tradition of beginning the session with the Tamil anthem, and then they conclude the session with the national anthem. And something that has not gone well with the Governor R.N. Ravi. In 2023, R.N. Ravi had skipped many portions of the speech given to him by the state cabinet, including references to names of leaders like Ambedkar, Periyar, Annadurai, Kamaraj, and phrases like Dravidian model, and also parts of the speech that dealt on the law and order in Tamil Nadu. And immediately at that time in 2023, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin had got a resolution adopted to record only the official speech given by the state cabinet and not what the governor spoke on the floor of the House. Last year in 2024, similar thing happened with the governor giving an extemporaneous speech, but the speaker only recorded what was given to him officially and not what he spoke. This time too, a similar thing was expected, particularly in the context of the developments on the Anna University campus, the alleged sexual assault, but the governor has taken the other issue and has walked out. Interestingly, the Tamil Nadu speaker did not give the live link for the governor's address, perhaps as an attempt to preempt the damage the governor's speech could have done otherwise. And now, as we speak, the speaker is giving the translation of the governor's address, what the government had given him. So it's going to be a stormy session. Today it's, of course, just the governor's address, and the real deliberations, discussions will begin tomorrow, and the AAP-BJP is all set to turn the heat on the ruling DMK. With assembly elections due next year, the opposition party is not leaving any opportunity to turn the heat on the ruling DMK. Lastly, the ruling DMK denies that the alleged sexual assault on the Anna University campus alone is the reflection of declining law and order. They say the police had arrested the alleged perpetrator in less than 5 hours after the survivor made a police complaint. And they point out in the past, during the AAP regime, when the infamous Pollachi sexual scam allegations were made, the government says the survivors didn't have the courage. They were so scared even to give a written complaint, but that's not the case now, they say. But certainly, this evening we will know for how many days this session will go on, but certainly both sides are preparing for a stormy session.
Well, Sam, thanks so much for joining us with that detailed update. Do stay on with us as we have a member representing the BJP, Kalyan Raman, joining us on the broadcast. Also with us, Salim Dharnidharan, DMK spokesperson. Kalyan Raman, I'd like to come to you first. Now, the recent sexual assault incident on the Anna University campus has sparked widespread outrage. We've seen that the Tamil Nadu Assembly session has had a stormy start. How do you believe the government has handled the issue so far?
Let us look at the fact of the case. The Home Minister of the state, incidentally the CM of the state as well, Mr. M.K. Stalin, has remained silent for the last 15 days, over 15 days rather. Today we are on the 6th. So, the law and order in Tamil Nadu is already taking a very bad shape. You can see that from the way the arrests are being made when people are protesting against the inaction. Apparently, some major important DMK functionaries involved in the rape, or in the rape attempt at least. That is what the indications are. What was being hidden by the state government, that is why the court had to intervene and order for an SIT probe as well. So the law and order is in bad shape. The CM of the state, the Home Minister, is ducking himself, remaining silent, being covered shamelessly, and arresting people who are fighting for justice. This is what is happening. They don't have any great defense for themselves. It is a defenseless government, also anti-national government, as it happened today when the national anthem was not played as the customary act that has been happening for a long time. Only Tamil Nadu has been an aberration across the country, where they are playing only the Tamil anthem and refusing to play the national anthem, for which the Honorable Governor had objected to it today, and then he had even walked out of the thing.
Well, let's get a word from Salim Dharnidharan, who's representing the DMK with us at the moment. Salim Dharnidharan, the BJP claims that under the DMK, history cheaters and sexual offenders are operating freely as DMK functionaries. That's their claim. The AIA-DMK, meanwhile, has been vocal about the recent sexual assault at Anna University. Do you believe your government is doing enough, especially in terms of maintaining law and order?
Well, anyone can speak about law and order, but not BJP. The top 10 states in this country where it's worse for women to live are BJP rule states. Out of the top 10, is 8 states. 70% of crime against women happen in BJP rule state. 151 BJP MPs and MLAs have been convicted of crimes against women. And these people come and say Tamil Nadu is lawless. You take the NCRB data and see, right? That's Tamil Nadu. Ask him to keep quiet now.
Mr. Raman, please let Mr. Dharnidharan make his point.
He should keep quiet, right? And again, this governor has been doing politics always. Governor's job is a rubber stamp as per the constitution. As per the Supreme Court, what has been told? Supreme Court says the governor is nothing but short and expression of the State Council of Ministers. That's all. He's expected to read.
Mr. Raman, we will come back to you. Please let Mr. Dharan complete his point.
Says. And this person wants to find reason. Last year, what did he do? When national anthem was sung, he walked away. They only want to do drama. They want to make Tamil Nadu underdeveloped like other BJP rule states. What is Gujarat model? Any socio-econometric, Tamil Nadu ranks better than Gujarat. Why do we need BJP in Tamil Nadu? You tell me that. There's no reason why we need BJP in Tamil Nadu. Any BJP rule state, let them have ruled the state for 20 years, 25 years. Any metric in comparison to Tamil Nadu, we do better in socio-economic metric. Tell me one thing that BJP rule states have done better than Dravidian parties rule Tamil Nadu. One thing, nothing. Right? They come here and talk about law and order. Let them go and see what is happening in UP under Yogi Adityanath. What happened in Hathras? What happened in Unnao? What happened in Bilkis Banu? Rape convicts were released, right? And they have the audacity to come and talk here that Tamil Nadu is becoming lawless under DMK, and we should listen. This is outrageous. And this governor does nothing. He's only thwarting the progress of Tamil Nadu. Every time is drama. Last year when national anthem was sung, he did not respect. He walked away during national anthem. It was not the national anthem was not sung. He wants to do drama. That's the problem.
Let's get in a rebuttal from Kalyan Raman, who's with us. Mr. Raman, the High Court has also observed that the Anna University sexual assault case, as far as that is concerned, it's being politicized and there's no genuine concentration on women's safety. What do you have to say regarding these observations?
I think the court can make any observation. The fact of the case remains that the government was not doing the right thing. That is why the court had to intervene. The Commissioner of Police, shame on the whole thing. The Commissioner of Police said
Mr. Dharan, let Mr. Raman make his point,
please. Just shut your mouth and listen. The Commissioner of Police said that there was only one man involved. Arun should have either resigned by now.
All right, gentlemen, let's remind ourselves that we maintain decorum, please.
Removed Arun by now. To neither remove Arun nor did you do anything thereafter. The court had to intervene. How dare someone, the Commissioner of Police, pass on a comment saying that only one person was involved without an investigation? Whom you are trying to shield and protect?
No,
we have
well, Mr. Dharan, go ahead and respond.
Rogues and convicts in your party.
Are not you shameless?
Who appointed a registrar for Anna University? Your governor. Who appointed the registrar for Anna University? There is no vice chancellor for Anna University. Why? Because the governor is not allowing.
Gentlemen, this way gentlemen, 1 second, a moment, please. Let's try and maintain decorum. Salim Dharan, as far as the ongoing spat between the governor and the chief minister is concerned, it seems to have disrupted the assembly's functioning, as we've seen in the past. Do you see this affecting the legislative agenda this time around as well in this session?
Despite this governor behaving however he has been behaving, but the governor's job is not to have a fight with the chief minister. His job is to be a constitutional head. That's what even discussed in the constitutional debate. The constitutional debate happened in late 40s. The reason why the governor was not elected through an election was because the people in the assembly found that if at all there will be election for the governor, then he will run a parallel government, which itself clearly says that it's a constitutional post. So he has no job interfering with the elected state government. That is point one. He wants drama. And two, when who appointed the registrar of Anna University? It's the governor. Why is the vice chancellor post being vacant in Anna University? It is again simply because the governor is not allowing the vice chancellor to be appointed. Though Tamil Nadu government funds Anna University, it's an autonomously run university, right? So vice chancellor will run. Without vice chancellor, governor appointed registrar is running it. If there is an issue there with safety, the registrar is responsible, who was appointed by the governor. He has links to RSS. And they come here, come and talk. What was Annamalai and these people doing in Hathras happened? When Bilkis Banu rape convicts were released, or restless were protesting in Delhi, sleeping, or Manipur.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for making time for us and joining us on NDTV. Kalyan Raman and Salim Dharan, we really appreciate your time. Sam Daniel has been tracking the finer details for us. You've just heard from the BJP and the DMK both. Let's go across to Sam now for the latest what's happening inside that assembly session. Sam, you had mentioned there was a stormy start to the Tamil Nadu Assembly session. What's going on at the moment?
Well, right now the Speaker is translating the original speech the government had given to the governor to be to be read on the floor of the House. Since the governor did not do that, the Speaker is doing that, and it could get over any time now, Parameshwar. After that, the Assembly will again convene only tomorrow. But in the course of the day, the Business Advisory Committee of the Tamil Nadu Assembly would sit and decide for how many days would this session go on. And the deliberations and discussions on the floor of the House would technically begin from tomorrow, when the AAP-BJP is expected to rake these issues yet again, particularly the sexual assault, the alleged sexual assault on the Anna University campus, women's safety, law and order, drugs, and a few other issues. So both sides are really preparing for a stormy session. Today's session would conclude any time now, and the stage is set in that sense, with the AAP-BJP raking up the alleged sexual assault on the Anna University campus, and the Congress raising slogans against the governor that he is not working for the welfare of Tamil Nadu, with the governor himself walking out raising objection to the national anthem not being played in the Tamil Nadu Assembly at the beginning of the session. Parameshwar.
Right, as always, Sam, thanks so much for joining us with the latest details. R. Ravi walked out over the national anthem, as my colleague Sam Daniel is reporting. Meanwhile, both BJP MLAs and AIADMK MLAs have walked out of the Assembly as soon as it started. It's been a stormy start to the Tamil Nadu Assembly session. We will, of course, get you the latest updates. Well, breaking news, US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan has touched down in India to take stock of the India-US initiative on critical and emerging technologies. In fact, this represents a landmark initiative between our countries in areas of emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, semiconductors, biotech, as well as defense innovation. Mr. Sullivan's trip will be the last high-profile visit to New Delhi from the outgoing Biden administration. In fact, I must also inform you that Jake Sullivan will be holding talks with our National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval. The US National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, is expected to also include discussions, as per reports, with Indian counterparts about the impact of Chinese dams while he is in Delhi. My colleague Neeta has been tracking the finer details for us. She joins us with the latest on Mr. Sullivan's meeting with NSA Doval. Neeta, Jake Sullivan expected to hold talks with a National Security Advisor. Give us the lowdown.
Absolutely. It's a two-day visit, today and tomorrow, and he would also be visiting IIT Delhi, where he would be giving a lecture. As per the information, both the sides are going to work on, further strengthening ISET, that is the Initiative on Critical Emerging Technology, which was initiated in June 2023 when the Prime Minister was in Washington. As you mentioned, the two sides would also be discussing biotechnology, space cooperation, quantum technology, and artificial intelligence. Apart from that, what our sources are also telling us that how to operationalize the Middle East Economic Corridor, which was stalled when the conflict hit Gaza, would also be discussed, because now Abraham Accords are now going to be back in motion, with Trump government being there in the US. As far as Mr. Sullivan is concerned, he played a very crucial role, a very positive role during his tenure. He pushed forward a 414 jet engine deal between the US and India. He also supported India on manufacture of semiconductors. Apart from this, Sullivan also put pressure on Pakistan on cross-border terrorism against India, and was also a peacemaker when India and US relations hit a staggering point when this Khalistani terrorist J.S. Pannun issue was raised last year. Interestingly, earlier last year, in fact in December, the External Affairs Minister, Mr. S. Jaishankar, was also in Washington, where he met all the top officials and also the outgoing administration as well as the new administration, which included NSA Mike Waltz. So this is going to be a crucial meeting, because this is going to be the last meeting, as you said, of the Biden administration top official. So how to take the relations between India and US forward is going to be streamlined in these meetings.
As always, Neeta, thank you so much for joining us with the latest details. The other big story we're tracking, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is expected to announce his resignation as leader of the Liberal Party this week. This is what the Globe and Mail is reporting. Now, Trudeau has been under pressure from elected lawmakers in his party to quit for months. And it increased further when Chrystia Freeland, his finance minister, stepped down last month on the 16th, saying she and the Prime Minister were at odds on policy. Liberal lawmakers, meanwhile, are scheduled to hold a caucus meeting on Wednesday, and Trudeau's resignation would trigger a race for the party leadership, with the winner becoming the Prime Minister. You must note that the Globe story didn't say that Trudeau has firmly made up his mind to resign, but what exactly will the impact be? Will the impact his decision carry? What will it mean for Trudeau's legacy if he resigns now? And is it a strategic move or an unavoidable outcome? Maha Siddiqui shares the details with you.
A lot of his party members also blame Justin Trudeau specifically for the unpopularity of the Liberal Party. They feel that the economic situation in the country was not properly handled. There was rising inflation, housing crisis, because of which the party has been left vulnerable now electorally. And that is why there were calls for a leadership change in the Liberal Party. These calls have been made for the last over 6 months. Members of his party, as well as members of parliament of the Liberal Party, have been calling for his resignation as the party leader and have been asking for a fresh leadership to take them into the next election. But his situation became even more tenuous after his close ally, the Deputy Prime Minister and the former Finance Minister, Chrystia Freeland, resigned. She said that Justin Trudeau wanted to change her ministry, but she chose to step down from the cabinet instead. Since then, the NDP that had initially been supporting the Trudeau government, the minority government from the outside, but they had, remember, withdrawn that outside support in September. However, they were supporting the government on a case-by-case basis in Parliament. The leader of that party, Jagmeet Singh, had also said that he will bring a non-confidence motion against the Trudeau government come the 27th of January, when the House of Commons would have met again. That is when the situation for Justin Trudeau became absolutely difficult to continue with. Justin Trudeau realized that his party is not going to survive this non-confidence motion, because another important opposition party, Bloc Québécois, also said that they will not be supporting the government this time around. And it is under these circumstances now that reports are coming in, specifically Globe and Mail reporting, citing 3 sources, that Justin Trudeau is going to step aside as the leader of the Liberal Party, which means that he will no longer remain the Prime Minister. However, there is no clarity yet on who could take over and whether this is going to save the government, because the NDP has clearly said that even if there is a change in leadership, they will continue to go ahead with their non-confidence motion, and because they want this government to go immediately and fresh elections to be.
And for further clarity from Canada, we have with us Daniel Boardman joining us on NDTV. Thanks so much, Daniel, for making time for us. Is Justin Trudeau's resignation inevitable now? And what impact will his decision have on the Liberal Party's future?
It's a bit of a strange thing, because if it was any other leader of any other party at any other point in Canadian history, he would have been forced to resign, I mean, years ago. But especially like the most recent scandals with, his own deputy prime minister saying that pulling the whole "you can't fire me, I quit" shtick. And the fact that over half his own caucus has come out against him. I mean, any other leader of any other party would have been forced to resign instantly. But this is Justin Trudeau. This is the modern Liberal Party. This is modern Canada. And he seems to have no shame in any way. So he's very willing to sort of grasp onto power by any means necessary. So the rumors that he's set to resign could be true. I mean, it wouldn't be shocking. I mean, any other politician in this scenario would be forced to resign. The government is completely untenable. But in sort of a weird way, the fact that Canadian parties can be whipped and very much controlled by their leaders. So between the two of them, between Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh, if both of those two don't win an election, it is still possible to kind of hold out until October. But if it was any other person, they would have been forced to resign instantly. But he is so, I don't know, I guess narcissism is the word. He is incredibly narcissistic that he's refused to take any accountability for his actions. So we do know there's lots of pressure on him to resign, but there's always been a lot of pressure on him to resign over the last few years due to like the massive amount of just scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal where from week to week it's some new major scandal. So I wouldn't be shocked if he does resign today, but I also wouldn't be surprised if this just turns out to be rumors, because again, there's two factions within the Liberal Party now, ones that want him gone and ones that want him to stay. So this is just a rumor, and it's not so far-fetched that someone who's part of the anti-Trudeau faction could leak a rumor to the Globe and Mail to put more pressure on him to try and force him to resign and enforce a leadership. But again, this is all rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic for the Liberal Party. They're projected to get 6 seats, and if they change Trudeau as leader, maybe they could get 15 seats out of 333. I mean, they're still going to get obliterated electorally. So,
can Trudeau maintain his position as Prime Minister while the Liberal Party chooses a new leader? There are reports suggesting that Trudeau's advisors are working on a plan to save his chair. But the big question is, can they pull this off?
We're all kind of in uncharted territories here. Like, no one's really sure. Like, it might be technically possible to stay on as Prime Minister, but like resign as leader. But I don't. Like in practicality, that's never happened. When you resign as leader of the party, there's a new interim leader of the party, and they would then become Prime Minister. But again, all of this is very, very unpopular with Canadians. Canadians know that Donald Trump's administration is coming in on the 20th. He does despise Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland and pretty much everyone in the Liberal Party for good reason. I mean, they spent the last 10 years, 8 to 9 years, let's say, just Trump bad as a key part of their foreign and domestic policy. So it wouldn't be shocking if again the Liberals get in and pull some sort of shenanigans where he's still Prime Minister but not leader. But it would make no sense. Again, we're all in our uncharted territory here. The government should have collapsed months ago, and should collapse any minute now. But it requires the leader of the Liberal Party to have no shame, no love of country, no love of party, no love of anything other than himself. And that's kind of what we had. So this is pretty indicative of Justin Trudeau, just no regard for even his own Liberal Party, which he claims to care about. So he'll burn down the country. We all know that. But now he showed he'll burn down the Liberal Party just to, I don't know, be king of Canada for a few more months. Like, I think he really loves being president of the G7 this year and calling him president. He's going around calling himself president of the G7. This is things Trudeau loves. Trudeau loves international nonsense. He wants to be chief UN ambassador to social justice, climate change feelings. This has always been a major goal of his, is to be like internationally recognized as some sort of vapid international head of something. So with G7 set to come to Canada, I mean, this is sort of his fantasy, is to just call himself captain and president of the G7. And very much, if you can tell in Canada, he very much enjoys declaring himself president of the G7 right now. So I think that's, crazy to sound, that kind of is, I think, his primary motivation going forward, is he wants to have the G7 in Canada and, sort of pretend he's king of the world for a week. But is that enough to keep the entire government in place? We'll find out. But again, we're in uncharted territory in Canada, because any other leader would have been forced out months ago by some of these scandals. But he's just kind of just showed that if I just ignore the scandals and blame it all on Stephen Harper or Pierre Poilievre or Donald Trump or someone else, or Indian foreign interference, right? It's the Indian government's reason why I'm unpopular with Canadians. So I'm not going to resign because Canadians love me. They're just being tricked by Modi or something into not liking me. These are all semi-possible Trudeau explanations to
As
his
always,
behavior.
Daniel, thanks so much for joining us on NDTV. With that, let's turn our attention to home ground. Well, Telangana's Anti-Corruption Bureau has issued a notice to Bharat Rashtra Samiti Working President K.T. Rama Rao, asking him to appear before the investigating officer for questioning today. In fact, I must inform you that K.T. Rama Rao has reached the Anti-Corruption Bureau along with his lawyers. Uma Sudhir is right there. She's got the latest update for us.
అన్నిటిని కూడా న్యాయపరంగా ఎదుర్కొంటాం. ఎస్, దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ ఇన్ ది నెక్స్ట్ 15-20 minutes. ఇంకా వాళ్ళ విఘ్నత, అది రేవంత్ రెడ్డి గారి యొక్క విఘ్నత, వారి యొక్క తెలివితేటలు. నేను సహకరించడానికి ఇక్కడికి వస్తే నన్ను కనీసం లాయర్ కావాలని నేను కోరుతందుకు కారణం ఒకటి. మొన్ననే పట్నం నరేందర్ రెడ్డి విషయంలో వీళ్ళు చేసిన కుట్ర, రేవంత్ రెడ్డి డైరెక్షన్ ప్రకారం పట్నం నరేందర్ రెడ్డి మీద ఇవ్వని స్టేట్మెంట్ ఇచ్చినట్టు అభూత కల్పనలు సృష్టించి, ఊహాజనితమైన వార్తలు సృష్టించి, బదనాం చేసే ప్రయత్నం చేసి, ఆయన కన్ఫెషన్ ఇచ్చిండు, కేటీఆర్ ఏం చేసిండని లేనిపోని కథ చేసిండ్రు. మళ్ళా మాకట్లా జరగకూడదు అనేది నా తాపత్రయం. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Well, you've just heard from K.T. Rama Rao as he heads for questioning along with his lawyers. This is in connection with the ongoing probe into the alleged financial irregularities in the conduct of the Formula E car race in Hyderabad last year in February. Uma Sudhir has been tracking the latest developments for us. Uma, we've just heard from K.T. Rama Rao. If you could take our viewers through what he said. There was the mention of Revanth Reddy there. Take us through what's expected today.
So, high drama outside the Anti-Corruption Bureau office in Banjara Hills, where K.T. Rama Rao reached along with his lawyers, and he says he will not go inside unless his lawyers are also allowed, and the police reportedly telling him that there is permission only for K.T. Rama Rao to go inside. Of course, he was summoned by the Anti-Corruption Bureau for questioning in the Formula E case, where he has been named as A1 by them, and he has been charged for criminal breach of trust and also unauthorizedly transferring 55 crore rupees to Formula E organizers. What now Mr. K.T. Rama Rao is saying is that, one, the quash plea that he had filed in court has been reserved, and the court has in fact said, of course, that he should not be arrested till such time that is not disposed and the verdict is not given in that particular case. So he says there is actually no reason for the Anti-Corruption Bureau to now call him in for questioning at a time when the court has in fact reserved judgment on his quash plea. The second thing is saying is that he will go in only along with his legal team, and if they are not allowed inside, he is not going to go inside. It is with respect towards the law that he decided to appear before the ACB, and they were denying him by his legal right by not allowing him to go in along with his lawyers. The reason he is giving for that is saying that Mr. Patnam Narendra Reddy, who was in fact arrested in the case of the Lagacherla incident, where there was an attack on the collector and certain other officials when they went for kind of a public hearing there, and that had become a big issue in which the alleged hand of the BRS leadership was alleged. He is saying Narendra Reddy, who is a BRS leader, that the police had claimed that he had made a confession naming KTR, whereas he had never done that, and he believes that if he goes into the ACB office without his lawyers, it is possible that they will attribute to him statements and then flashes out to the media saying that he has made certain confessions or has admitted to certain wrongdoings which he never would have, and therefore he is not wanting to go without lawyers team inside, and he says it is his legal right to do so. The third fear that he's expressed is that when he is gone, he suspects that the ACB may actually read his
Right, we seem to be having a certain audio issue with your line, Uma. While we work on just reviving that, thank you so much for joining us with the latest details. As you can see through the live visuals coming in, K.T. Rama Rao has said that he will only go into the ACB office if he is allowed to be accompanied with his lawyers. Telangana's Anti-Corruption Bureau had asked him to show up for questioning at 10 a.m. and he has arrived with his lawyers, but he has refused to enter without them. We'll of course get you the latest from Hyderabad. For now, let's turn our attention to the main accused in the murder of journalist Mukesh Chandrakar's case. Well, the main accused in the murder of journalist Mukesh Chandrakar, whose body was actually found in a septic tank in Chhattisgarh last week, has been arrested from Hyderabad last night. Suresh Chandrakar is actually the mastermind. He's a distant relative and a contractor. He had been on the run since the incident came to light. And according to the police, Suresh was hiding at his driver's residence in Hyderabad. To track him, the police reviewed footage from about 200 CCTVs and traced nearly 300 mobile numbers to track this man. The police are currently interrogating Chandrakar. This is what we can disclose to you so far. We actually have a reaction lined up for you from the SIT in charge, Mayank Gurjar. Here's what he had to inform us.
SIT टीम के द्वारा पत्रकार साथी मुकेश चंद्राकर के हत्या की घटना में शामिल फरार आरोपी सुरेश चंद्रकर की देर रात हैदराबाद में हिरासत में लिया गया। साथ ही साथ इस प्रकरण में अब तक सुरेश चंद्रकर के अलावा 3 आरोपियों की गिरफ्तारी पहले की जा चुकी है, जिसमें रितेश चंद्रकर, दिनेश चंद्रकर एवं महेंद्र रामटेके शामिल हैं। साथ ही साथ मामले में विस्तृत पूछताछ की जा रही है।
My colleague Anurag Dwari has been tracking this story very closely. He joins us live at the moment. Anurag, Suresh Chandrakar and his wife have now been taken into custody in Chhattisgarh?
Yes, an SIT was formed to arrest Suresh Chandrakar, 11-member SIT headed by IPS Mayank Gujar, and they have reviewed around 200 CCTV cameras, more than 300 mobile numbers were tracked, and after that the police arrested Suresh Chandrakar from Hyderabad. He was hiding at his driver's place. His bank accounts were frozen, illegal construction owned by Suresh Chandrakar were demolished, and now the police they have arrested Suresh Chandrakar from Hyderabad, and he will be soon brought back to Bijapur.
Thanks so much, Anurag, for joining us with that brief update. As you know, Mukesh recently exposed an alleged corruption in a 120 crore rupee road construction project from Gangalore to Hiroli in the Bastar region, as my colleague Anurag Dwari has shared with us. The project, whose official tender was actually worth 50 crore rupees, saw it escalating to about 120 crore rupees without any changes to the scope of work. His body was found in a septic tank last week. Let's move on now. I'm told there's a BJP press conference going on at the moment. This is regarding the Aam Aadmi Party's election promises and the PM's promises for Delhi. Listen in to what Virendra Sachdeva has to say.
दिया जाता है और कोई भी वर्क ऑर्डर बिना किसी जस्टिफिकेशन के, बिना किसी अनुमति के पास कर दिए जाते हैं, जिसकी लागत 33.71 करोड़ पहुंचती है। और सीएजी की रिपोर्ट जो लिखा है उसमें पृष्ठ संख्या 127 वो प्रोजेक्ट कंसल्टेंट की नियुक्ति से लेकर प्रोजेक्ट लागत तय करने के सारे नियमों के बारे में सवाल खड़े करती है। मैं सिर्फ एक बात पूछता हूं कि ये जो सीएजी की रिपोर्ट है 2022 तक की दिखा रही है, जिसमें 33.71 करोड़ का खर्चा इसके ब्यूटिफिकेशन पर दिखाया है। अब ये इन्वेंट्री का क्या करें? अभी तो 23 और 24 खुलना है। अब इस इन्वेंट्री की जो पूरी कीमत है वो अगर हम जोड़ने बैठेंगे, जिसका हमने पहले भी बताया कि विंडो कर्टन ऑपरेटेड विद मोटर एंड ट्रैक 80 लिए गए, कीमत 5.5 करोड़। कौन सा टीवी है जी? OLED टीवी क्या होता है? सोनी का 16 लिए गए, इसकी कीमत 64 लाख। अब कोई जोड़ सके तो जोड़ लीजिएगा, ये 33 करोड़ से अलग है सब। बॉस के स्पीकर लिए गए 4.5 लाख, और साडा प्रीमियम फुल बॉडी मसाज चेयर 4 लाख, रिक्लाइनर सोफ़ा 10 लाख, 80 वाट फ्री स्टैंडिंग ल्यूमिनियर 9,20,000, 12 वाट LED स्मार्ट डाउन लाइट 19.5 लाख की लाइट है जी, 19.5 लाख की लाइट है। उसके बाद किचन में आइए, सैमसंग फ्लेक्स फैमिली हब फ्रेंच मल्टी डोर रेफ्रिजरेटर 934 लीटर। होटल खोला है क्या है? केजरीवाल घर में होटल खोलते थे क्या? पेइंग गेस्ट रखते हो। इसकी कीमत है 9 लाख। उसके बाद आइए 73 लीटर स्टीम ओवन, ये तो होटल में ही रखे जाते हैं भाई, ये घर नहीं हो सकता। तो अभी होटल में कितने पैसे लिए किराए के वो भी नहीं पता। ये ओवन है 9 लाख। उसके बाद 50 लीटर 100 वाट माइक्रोवेव ओवन, ओहो 6 लाख। ये अगर उसको मिल जाते उस ज़माने में ओवन इतने बड़े बड़े, कौन था वो जिसने वो तंदूर हत्याकांड किया था, उसको तंदूर लेने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं पड़ती। हाँ, ऑटोमेटिकली क्या है ये पता नहीं, अब लिस्ट ऑन है। स्मार्ट टच स्क्रीन डोर होंगे रेफ्रिजरेटर पे, वो 9 लाख रुपए के। उसके बाद आइए फिर 73 लीटर स्टीम ओवन 9 लाख का, 50 लीटर 1000 वाट माइक्रोवेव ओवन 6 लाख का। कितने ओवन इस्तेमाल करते हो भैया? माउंटेड हुड्स 140 सेंटीमीटर स्टेनलेस स्टील चिमनी 6 लाख। फिर बॉस सीरीज़ के बिल्ट इन कॉफ़ी मशीन्स स्टेनलेस स्टील एंड ब्लैक 2.5 लाख। बाथरूम हॉट वाटर जनरेटेड एयर टू वाटर हीट पम्प्स, सब आगे पता नहीं क्या है, ये है 22.5 लाख। ये तो मुझे लगता है वो रजिया सुल्ताना भी यूज़ नहीं करती होगी कभी अपने जीवन में। सुपीरियर वाटर सप्लाई एंड सैनिटरी इंस्टॉलेशंस 15 करोड़। 15 करोड़ जो हम बार बार कह रहे हैं, क्योंकि इसमें टॉयलेट सीट का जिक्र नहीं है, तो ये मुझे लग रहा है वही होंगे ये सुपीरियर वाटर सप्लाई एंड सैनिटरी इंस्टॉलेशंस। फिर एलजी का कोई 12 केजी का फ्रंट लोड ऑटोमेटिक वॉशिंग मशीन है 2,10,000, नहीं 2 करोड़ 10 लाख है शायद। एसएस रेलिंग स्टेयरकेस कवरिंग पता नहीं क्या है, ये भी 1 करोड़ 20 लाख। ग्रैंड एज ब्रास एंट्रेंस सोर्सेज आउटडोर लाइट भी 10 लाख। वुडन डोर्स एंड ग्लास डोर्स 70 लाख। डेकोरेटिव पिलर्स 36 लाख। अब ये सारे पैसे जोड़िए, जितने करोड़ हमने बोले हैं, तो मेरा जो अंदाज़ा है कि सीएजी की जो 2022 तक की रिपोर्ट बताती है वो सिर्फ बंगलों का जिक्र कर रही है कि इस बंगले में ब्यूटिफिकेशन के नाम पर 33 करोड़ 71 लाख खर्च किए गए, और ये इन्वेंट्री 23 और 24 की अभी जोड़ी नहीं गई है। अगर ये पीडब्ल्यूडी की इन्वेंट्री जोड़ दी जाए, जिसमें अभी टॉयलेट सीट का जिक्र नहीं है, वो गोल्ड प्लेटेड टॉयलेट कहाँ गए, तो ये मामला जाकर 75 से 80 करोड़ के लगभग बनता है। अरविंद केजरीवाल शीश महल, हमने तो एक बानगी दिखाई है आपको, इसके अंदर के काले कारनामे कैसे दिखेंगे। और जो हमारी जानकारी है, अगर वो कोशिश कर रहे हैं हम आपके सामने लाने की, फाइलों पर हस्ताक्षर किस किस के हैं, पीडब्ल्यूडी के अधिकारी बना रहे हैं, लेकिन इनके परिवार के सदस्य उस फाइल पर सिग्नेचर करते हैं कि फला फला ठेकेदार की पेमेंट इमीडिएट कर दी जाए। आएगा वो कागज़ भी सामने आएगा, तो आपके सामने दिखाएंगे कि आखिर इस भ्रष्टाचार के खेल में अरविंद केजरीवाल के साथ और कौन लोग हैं जिन्होंने दिल्ली को लूटने का काम किया है, दिल्ली को ठगने का काम किया है, दिल्ली को धोखा देने का काम किया। अरविंद केजरीवाल, ये है तुम्हारी काली कमाई के कारनामे। तुम अभी सिर्फ शराब घोटाले में जेल गए हो, अभी तो ये शीश महल बाकी है, और तुम्हें दिल्ली की जनता को जवाब देना होगा। तुम्हें दिल्ली की जनता को जवाब देना होगा कि ये पैसा आया कहाँ से, कहाँ से आया ये पैसा। ये जो इन्वेंट्री का पैसा है, क्योंकि पीडब्ल्यूडी ने तो लिख के भेज दिया कि ये पैसा हमने नहीं दिया है, हमने नहीं लगाया है, तो ये जो पैसा है, ये पैसा कहाँ से आया अरविंद केजरीवाल। इस कमाई का सोर्स तुम्हें बताना पड़ेगा। वो शराब घोटाले से आया है, जल बोर्ड से आया है, पैनिक बटन घोटाले से आया है, शिक्षा के घोटाले से आया है, हेल्थ के घोटाले से आया है, नकली दवाइयाँ बेच के आया है। हर वो घोटाला जो तुमने किया है, उसके सोर्स का जवाब तुम्हें देना पड़ेगा। अरविंद केजरीवाल, तुम सिर्फ दिल्ली के नहीं, तुम हर उस व्यक्ति के दोषी हो जिसने अन्ना हजारे पे भरोसा किया था। तुम हर उस व्यक्ति के दोषी हो जिससे तुमने वोट लेकर उन्हें धोखा देने का काम किया है, और ये आपके पाप की कहानी चलती रहेगी जब तक इन आपियों को बाहर ना कर दें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
सर, एक सवाल है, जब भी आम आदमी पार्टी से सवाल पूछा जाता है शीश महल का, वो ये कहते हैं कि पीएम हाउस पे भी तो बहुत ज्यादा पैसा लगा है, पीएम हाउस इतना बड़ा बनाया गया, वो लगा है, सेंट्रल विस्टा की बात करते हैं। तो सेकंड पार्ट, उस पर थोड़ा अगर आप डिटेल में बताएं। आपने ये कहा कि फैमिली जो है अरविंद केजरीवाल की, वो भी इन्वॉल्व है, उन्होंने साइन किया है फैमिली मेंबर्स ने कई कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स की पेमेंट पे, तो ऐसा जो एलिगेशन है, बड़ा एलिगेशन, आप क्यों लगा रहे हैं?
मैं फिर कह रहा हूं कि साइन के पेपर्स मेरे पास आने दीजिए। इन लोगों ने सरकारी संपत्ति को और सरकारी पैसे को अपने हराम की कमाई का साधन बनाया है। किसकी औकात है जी कि सरकारी ऑर्डर पे वो साइन करेगा कि इस ठेकेदार की पेमेंट कर दी जाए? तो उसका जवाब देना पड़ेगा। और जहाँ तक आप पीएम बंगले की बात कर रहे हैं, जितनी राजनीति मेरी है, जितना मैं जानता हूँ, इसी बंगले में इंदिरा गांधी रहती थी, इसी बंगले में राजीव गांधी रहते थे, इसी बंगले में नरसिम्हा राव रहते थे, इसी बंगले में वीपी सिंह रहे, इसी बंगले में चंद्रशेखर रहे, इसी बंगले में गुजराल भी रहे, इसी बंगले में देवगौड़ा भी रहे, इसी बंगले में अटल जी रहे, इसी बंगले में मनमोहन सिंह रहे, और अब उस बंगले में प्रधानमंत्री रह रहे हैं। तो प्रधानमंत्री का जो निवास है या प्रधानमंत्री का कार्यालय है वो राष्ट्रीय संपदा है। ये किसका है, इसका जवाब दें। और जिस कैटेगरी के आप लायक नहीं है, आपने बिना अनुमति उस कैटेगरी का मकान बनवाने की हिम्मत कैसे कर ली, उसमें ऑल्ट्रेशन कैसे कर ली? आस पड़ोस के 3 प्लॉटों को तोड़कर 4 प्लॉटों को तोड़कर ये बंगला बनाया गया है। कहाँ है उसकी परमिशन? दिखाइए, एमसीडी की परमिशन है तो। ये है आपकी आकांक्षाएं, आपकी भ्रष्टाचार की वो भूख जो आपको जीने नहीं दे रही है। फिर आप कहते हैं जी हमने अपने लिए क्या कमाया है। तुम्हारे में हिम्मत है, अगर तुम्हारी औकात है तो आज अपने पीडब्ल्यूडी अधिकारी को कहो कि इस बंगले को खोल दें और दिल्ली की जनता करे फैसला, इस शीश महल पे वोट करे। आज इस बंगले को खोल दो और दिल्ली की जनता को फ्री एंट्री दिखाओ कि जाइए 15 दिन तक देखिए इस बंगले को जब तक चुनाव खत्म नहीं होता। अगर आपको लगता है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल ने ये दिल्ली की जनता के लिए किया है तो अरविंद केजरीवाल को वोट देना, और नहीं तो अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल ने ये अपनी अय्याशी के लिए बनाया है, अपनी ऐशगा बनाई है, अपनी आराम प्रस्ती के लिए बनाया है, तो फिर दिल्ली की जनता तय करेगी कौन ठीक है कौन गलत है।
सर, मनीष सिसोदिया ने अभी कहा है कि जिस प्रकार से सीएजी की जो रिपोर्ट आई है उस पर काउंटर करते हुए कि प्रधानमंत्री इतने महंगे सूट पहनते हैं, करोड़ों के बंगले में रहते हैं, क्या उसका?
Well, you've just heard from the BJP. They were targeting the Aam Aadmi Party and Mr. Kejriwal in particular, questioning where he got the funds to undertake elaborate house renovations. In fact, you've just heard Virendra Sachdeva targeting Arvind Kejriwal and raking up the Chief Minister's house renovations and questioning where the funds came from for these renovations. We'll keep tracking the latest updates for you. For now, we're stepping into a very short break.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
Mahakumbh, a festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival. The divine dip at the spirit.
Welcome back. Well, 3 people have lost their lives and several others injured after a KSRTC bus carrying tourists actually plunged into a 30-foot gorge near Pullupara in Kerala earlier today. The group was actually returning from a trip to Thanjavur when the bus reportedly lost control. This was on a sharp bend and it allegedly failed. The brakes failed is what we're being told, and then it fell into the gorge. The vehicle came to a halt after hitting trees, preventing the further descent, but among the 34 passengers and 2 staff members aboard, several were injured and have been shifted to hospitals. Rescue operations are underway with teams from the Fire Force, Highway Police and Motor Vehicle Department at the site. Meanwhile, further investigations are ongoing to determine the exact cause of this accident. In other crucial news, Jan Suraj founder Prashant Kishore, who had been on a fast unto death to press the demand for cancellation of a Bihar Public Service Commission, the BPSC examination at Gandhi Maidan in Patna, was actually arrested early this morning. Take a look at the dramatic visuals playing out on your screens. The police took him to Patna AIIMS. District Magistrate Chandrasekhar Singh has actually said the dharna being held at the Gandhi Maidan was illegal since it was being conducted at a restricted site. But these visuals from the protest site show a large team of cops removing Prashant Kishore from the protest site early this morning at around 4 a.m. as other protesters surround him in an attempt to stop the police at 4 a.m. this morning.
Prashant Kishore has been taken to ESIC hospital in Behta, which is on the outskirts of Patna, and he will be produced once they get the clearance from the magistrate in the concerned court, or otherwise he will be produced before the magistrate at their residence, because today on account of Guru Gobind Singh Jayanti, all the offices and courts are closed here. So as far as his arrest is concerned, the district administration has confirmed that he was not taken in custody, but he has been formally arrested because there was an FIR filed against him for sitting on dharna without any permission in the prohibited area. So somewhere Prashant Kishore and his supporters also knew that there will be a crackdown from the administration, which has happened at around 4 in the morning. Now it is to be seen in the court whether the court grants him bail or remands him to the judicial custody.
Well, let's switch tracks now. Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh has said that 26 Myanmarese nationals who had earlier entered India through the state's border were deported to their country. A senior Manipur Home Department official said that the Myanmarese were actually handed over to the authorities of the neighbouring country by Manipur police and the central forces deployed along the bordering Moreh town. But since the 8th of March last year, 144 Myanmar nationals, including women and children, in 4 different phases have been deported to their country. Well, let's turn our attention now to the United States, where millions of Americans are in the grips of a huge winter storm that could bring the heaviest snowfall and coldest temperatures in over a decade. Thousands of flights are delayed or cancelled in the US as we speak, with St. Louis and Missouri the worst hit airport. In fact, a polar vortex has brought frigid weather down from the Arctic with extreme weather conditions accompanying it. Kansas and Missouri are under blizzard warnings with whiteout conditions forecast, and a state of emergency has been declared in the states of Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, Kansas, Arkansas, and Missouri. Meanwhile, Payal Kapadia was left disappointed at the Golden Globes 2025, as were many of us, after her movie All We Imagine As Light lost in both nominations. Payal Kapadia lost the Best Director award to Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, and earlier All We Imagine As Light missed the chance to shine after losing an award to Emilia Perez in the Best Motion Picture Non-English Language. Do you remember All We Imagine As Light made history earlier this year as the first Indian film to win the coveted Grand Prix, the Grand Prix at the 2024 Cannes Film Festival, and the Golden Globe for the Best Motion Picture Drama went to The Brutalist. Shogun, by the way, had 4 nominations. That's 4 incredible wins. As always, thank you so much for investing your time in watching this edition of NDTV's News Bulletin. My colleagues will join you in a moment. Don't go anywhere.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
Mahakumbh, a festival of
Stormy start to the Tamil Nadu Assembly session as AIA-DMK MLAs evicted from the State Assembly. This is eviction for the placards against the alleged Chennai rape case that took place at the Anna University. And a turbulent start to the Tamil Nadu Assembly session with the governor also walking out. R.N. Ravi walked out for the national anthem that wasn't played after the state anthem. And Formula E race case probe picks up as the BRS leader KTR appeared before the Anti-Corruption Bureau today but had to leave as his legal team wasn't allowed. Suresh Chandrakar, the prime accused in the murder of Mukesh Chandrakar, a Chhattisgarh journalist, has been taken into custody by the Special Investigation Team from Hyderabad. And in battle, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is likely to resign as the Liberal Party leader amid growing concerns and calls within the party for him to step down. The Globe and Mail is reporting it's unclear as to if he will continue as the Prime Minister till they don't find a leader that has been selected. And a big night at the Golden Globes, but it is India's entry to the Golden Globes. Payal Kapadia lost out on those two nominations. However, Emilia Perez won big at the Golden Globes. Very good morning. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Divya Vadva. Let's get to your top story, and that is in regard to the first day of the assembly session in Tamil Nadu, and it's AIA-DMK MLAs that were evicted from the assembly. Protests took place over the alleged rape case at the Anna University in Chennai, and the opposition there raking up that issue when it comes to the safety of women. Double standards as far as the Tamil Nadu assembly is concerned. Protests. This is what is being said by the opposition there. Of course, to get to know more on this, we have DMK spokesperson A. Sarvanan joining us. Sir, if you could just take us through what has really led to the eviction of the MLAs of the AIA-DMK.
ADMK MLAs, they want to create an issue out of what happened at the Anna University, where action has been initiated. The culprit has been found and he has been arrested. And they've also approached the High Court, and the High Court has also formed a committee, a 3-member top police officials committee to investigate. A special investigation team has been formed and monitored by the High Court. But still, the ADMK is not satisfied. It's not satisfied with the outcome because they thought the DMK government will bungle up the investigation and they can make a political issue out of it. They were sorely out of sync. That is the reason now they want to make this an issue again and again. They said they want to get justice for the victim. We are saying the accused is arrested. What more justice is required at this stage? The investigation is going on. So we are asking whether you have faith in the High Court or not. The High Court has ordered the investigation on your petition. So why are you not waiting for the outcome of the investigation? The investigation is not done by the regular police. It is monitored by the High Court. But still, they're going to keep saying justice, justice, justice. They think it will stick on against the DMK government. And that is why they want to do this drama inside the assembly today.
Also, Mr. Sarvanan, it is the problem, the issue that is being cited is the badges that they were wearing. These were badges that said, "Who is that sir?" That is the translation in English. So if you could take us to what is it that, really read on those badges that they were wearing?
See, that's what Yaar the sir is what the badge, because the FIR narrates that the accused person was saying that he will speak to that sir. He is speaking to the sir or something like that. So these people are saying, who is that sir? That sir, somebody else is involved. If somebody else is involved, it will come out during the investigation. I don't know why the ADMK wants to preempt the investigation. That is what I pointed out, that the investigation is now carried out on the instructions under the monitoring of the High Court. If they don't have faith on the High Court,
but sir, this was on expected lines, given the fact that this really comes on the heels of that rape incident, incidentally, that allegedly took place at the Anna University. The opposition there up in arms regarding the safety when it comes to the law and order situation, the safety, also drugs being an issue as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. They're raking up that issue, demanding, of course, questions to be answered. But sir, that led to the eviction of the MLAs of the opposition party. What kind of, as far as the workings are concerned of the assembly session on day one itself, within minutes, the MLAs were evicted?
See, that's what they want to bring up this false bogey of law and order, and people are not safe here. The government is giving a wonderful measure. They are ensuring that the common man is not affected at all. But the ADMK, they don't have anything to say against the administration. They are not able to raise any issues which will politically stick on the DMK. So they are raising this issue, this false bogey of law and order. And they say drugs. drugs happening, drugs. Tamil Nadu, not a single drug is manufactured in the state of Tamil Nadu. If any drug is coming into the state of Tamil Nadu, that is coming from the other state. It is the duty of the union government to stop these kind of drugs which come from the other states. And we all know that Gujarat is the gateway of drugs for the entire country. So their axe is to grind against they have their axe to grind against the union government, but they want to deflect that on the state government. That is where the issue starts.
Right, Mr. Saravanan of the DMK, they're, hitting back at the opposition for raising the issue of the safety of women, demanding answers when it comes to the rape case that took place allegedly at the Anna University. We have my colleague Sam joining us as well. Sam, take us through what really happened and what really led to the eviction. It was a question of the badges they wore in protest of what's really happened in the state of Tamil Nadu.
Divya, as the governor was making his short observation as part of his address before he walked out in protest from the Tamil Nadu Assembly, the key opposition, AAP-BJP, led by former Chief Minister EPS, gathered on the well of the house with placards in their hand that said, "Who is that sir?" This is in connection with the recent alleged sexual assault of a woman student on the Anna University campus, and they raised slogans against the state government. And the speaker asked them to take their seats and calm down, but nothing worked. And then the speaker ordered their eviction, following which the marshals of the assembly moved them away. And outside the assembly, the AAP members continued to raise slogans and displayed the placards. And they say they don't have trust in the ongoing investigation, although it's ordered by the Madras High Court, investigated by a special investigation team with 3 women officers on the job. They say the ruling DMK is trying to safeguard somebody. They allege that the alleged perpetrator who had sexually assaulted the woman student on the Anna University campus at that time had spoken to someone, referring to the other person on the phone as sir, and they want to know who was that sir, and they allege that it could be perhaps somebody from the DMK which the police is trying to shield. And they deny that they are politicizing the issue as observed by the Madras High Court, and they say they're only interested in ensuring that the campuses like Anna University would be safe, and then the parents who are worried now would get the confidence to send their women, to send their daughters to colleges and universities. And as we speak, they have left the assembly campus. The assembly session could be for 4 to 5 days, which will be clear in a couple of hours after the Business Advisory Committee would meet and decide. But certainly the key opposition, AAP-BJP, is turning the heat on the ruling DMK on the issue of women's safety. And we understand they will also raise the issue of drugs in the state and law and order generally, pointing out that this incident is a reflection of what they call as declining law and order. But the ruling DMK has denied these allegations, saying that within 5 hours since the survivor had made a police complaint, the Chennai police had nabbed the alleged perpetrator, put him behind bars, invoking sections of sexual assault. Investigation is underway, and there is no need for them to shield anyone. And they deny that the accused is a DMK member, and they say the special investigation team is on the job, and whatever had transpired then will come out in the investigation.
Right, of course, you did mention that the Tamil Nadu governor, left the assembly without delivering his customary address to the assembly on the very first day of the assembly session, citing concerns about the national anthem. His complaint was that the national anthem was not played after the state anthem, and that is something which is a part of the tradition and the customs there.
That's right, Divya. The Governor R.N. Ravi has been raising this issue since last year, that he wants the national anthem to be played before his customary governor's address on the first session of in the new year, and pointing out that the assembly only practices the playing of the Tamil anthem first, and then they play the national anthem at the end of the governor's address. He feels it's not in conformity with the constitutional norms and objecting to that custom, the governor walked out without giving his customary speech. And as we speak now, the Tamil Nadu Assembly has adopted a resolution that would record only the official speech printed and given to the governor and the members in the House, and not what the governor spoke outside this speech. And the Speaker has clarified on the floor of the House that for a long time, Tamil Nadu Assembly has the tradition and convention of beginning with the Tamil anthem before the governor's address, and then after the governor's address, ending the day's proceedings playing the national anthem. And that's how it is, and that has to be respected. And he says when the governor had wrote to him last year in December, it was clarified and it's a settled issue. There's no reason why the governor is raking it up again. That's what the Tamil Nadu government says. But as we speak, two things. One, the governor's speech, whatever he had made, will not go on record. Only the official speech given to him would go on record. Number two, the Assembly has clarified that it has its own customs, conventions and traditions, and it has to abide by that. And according to that, the day's proceedings of the governor's address begins with the Tamil anthem and concludes with the national anthem. In fact, in 2023, Divya, Governor R.N. Ravi had skipped certain portions from the official speech given to him by the cabinet. He refrained from reading names of leaders like Periyar, Ambedkar, Annadurai, and phrases like Dravidian model. And also he had deviated from the speech parts that dwelt on the law and order in Tamil Nadu. And perhaps, and at that time too, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin had moved a resolution to record only the official speech given. And last year, the governor had completely skipped away from the speech given to him, went extemporaneous, and even at that time, the Assembly had recorded only the official speech given to him. This time, interestingly, the Assembly did not give a live YouTube link for the governor's speech, perhaps in an attempt to preempt any kind of speech the governor could make against the ruling DMK or the ruling party or the state government. And so now the Speaker has ruled that the media should not report what the governor had spoken as part of the proceedings of the House and should report only what was officially recorded. So that's the overall overview of what happened with respect to the governor's address. And the technical session or the official session and discussions will begin tomorrow. In a while from now, we will know for how many days will the session meet this time after the Business Advisory Committee would meet. But all guns are trained towards the ruling DMK, with the AAP-BJP turning its heat on the ruling party, particularly over the alleged sexual assault at Anna University, which the ruling DMK denies it's trying to cover up or shield. Divya.
Right, thank you so much for getting us all those details of what really transpired on the very first day with, of course, the governor walking out because of the national anthem not playing, and then followed by the eviction of the AIADMK MLAs for carrying those placards asking who is the sir, and those are the questions being asked in regard to the alleged murder. This is an alleged rape assault case that took place at the Anna University, and of course questions being raised in regard to that assault case. Now switching tracks now in regard to KTR, who appeared before the ECB briefly but left within minutes. This was after handing over a statement. This as he wasn't allowed to appear with his legal team. His lawyer was not allowed. So the BRS leader had been summoned actually by the ECB in the Formula E race case, but but his lawyer was stopped from going inside, and which is why, do remember, the ECB on the 29th of December last year booked a case against KTR, the senior IAS officer Arvind Kumar, and also the Hyderabad Metropolitan Development Authority former chief engineer BL.N. Reddy. KTR, who was the municipal administration minister during the previous BRS regime, was also summoned by the ED for questioning on the 7th, that is tomorrow, over the alleged irregularities with regard to conducting that race in Hyderabad in February last year. Let's listen into what KTR has to say. He's saying he's a law-abiding citizen, and that it's basically his legal counsel who wasn't really allowed to enter, which is why he had to leave.
As a law-abiding citizen, respecting the Honorable High Court, respecting Anti-Corruption Bureau's, direction to appear before them, I'm here. but they're not allowing my advocates, they're not allowing me to have my own rights. All I'm seeking of the Anti-Corruption Bureau is that they respect the High Court's judgment. High Court, in fact, has reserved its judgment. I am a law-abiding citizen. I worked as a lawmaker. I am still a lawmaker. So therefore, all I'm asking the ACB is to ensure that my rights are protected as an individual, as a citizen. I am entitled to my lawyers being present with me, but unfortunately, they seem to have a different opinion. So we are trying to discuss with them and engage with them.
Uma joining us to get us more on this. Uma, really take us through what really happened when KTR appeared before the ACB officials. He's saying that he's allowed to have his legal counsels with him. However, that entry was denied. And on what grounds was that entry denied?
So high drama outside the Anti-Corruption Bureau office in Banjara Hills, where Mr. K.T. Ramarao came along with his legal team, and he was in fact outside the office and he was not allowed to go in with his legal team, and he sought the permission of the ACB to come in with his legal team, claiming that it is legal right, constitutional right to have his lawyer along with him, and the ACB reportedly did not give permission for that. So after standing, or rather waiting in his car for about half an hour outside the ACB office in Banjara Hills, he left. And subsequently, he has also spoken to the media, and he told multiple things. One, he said that he has submitted a letter to the ACB, and that's a statement that he was going to make before them as well. And that letter was handed over to the ASP of the ACB who had come out. And in the letter, he has specifically said that he has filed a quash plea in the High Court, and the verdict in that particular case is pending, and it has been reserved, in fact, by the court. And the ACB themselves have filed a very, very detailed, kind of play and submission in court regarding the quash plea itself. And since the verdict in that case is pending, he would like the ACB to postpone its questioning, abiding by the directions of the High Court, which in fact had also said that the ACB should not go ahead and arrest Mr. K.T. Ramarao. He says because the ACB had, despite that, summoned him, with respect, having respect for the law, he had decided to appear before the ACB. He cites the case of Patnam Narendra Reddy, one of his party colleagues who has been named as an accused in the Lagacherla case, where some collector and certain other officials were attacked, and subsequently it was alleged to be a BRS conspiracy. And he says the police had manufactured a letter as a confessional statement of Patnam Narendra Reddy, saying that he had also named KTR as an accused in the case. And he says, I do not want to be met with the same fate where they distort what I say and make up statements, and that's the reason why I want to protect my own constitutional rights and legal rights, and that's why I want my lawyer to be along with me. And since they're not allowing that, he's leaving the premises, and that's how Mr. K.T. Ramarao left the ACB office without entering the premises, even though he says that he had an intention to go inside and issue a statement before them. Of course, Mr. KTR has been A1 in this particular case, the ACB case, and A2 and A3 are also government officials in this particular case. And of course, the Enforcement Directorate has also booked a case, and they have asked him to appear before them on the 7th of January, which is tomorrow. Whether he's going to seek more time or give the same argument before them, that's something that we need to wait and see.
Right, of course. What course of action is the ACB going to take in regard to calling him back, perhaps allowing him with his counsel, or making it very clear that he has to come by himself? Of course, we will keep tracking that story. Uma, stay with us for our next story as well, and that is in regard to the main accused in the murder of journalist Mukesh Chandrakar, whose body was found in a septic tank in Chhattisgarh last week. He has now finally been arrested from Hyderabad last night. He was a mastermind and is a distant relative and a contractor. He had been on the run since the incident came to light. And to get to know more on this, Uma with us. Uma, it is, the main accused in the case was apparently hiding at his driver's residence in Hyderabad.
Yes, indeed. I have spoken to the Telangana DGP, Mr. Jitender, who confirmed that Mr. Suresh Chandrakar, the contractor who has been named as accused in the murder of the journalist Mukesh Chandrakar, he had come to Hyderabad along with his driver, and we do understand that he was staying at the residence of the driver possibly, and subsequently had left that place, and that is when the Chhattisgarh police, rather the special investigation team, seems to have arrested him. That's what the DGP of Telangana has told us. What we do know is that about 200 CCTV cameras were tracked, and about 300 mobile phone calls were in fact tracked by the SIT, which was probing into this, into trying to search the accused. The other accused in this particular case, Ritesh as well as Dinesh Chandrakar, both brothers of the contractor, have both been arrested as well. And we do know that Ritesh was arrested from the Raipur airport, and Dinesh and one more person who has been identified as Ramtek, he has also been arrested from Bijapur, and you would recall that Mr. Mukesh Chandrakar's body was found in a septic tank in a field belonging to Mr. Suresh Chandrakar, and what the police and investigators are telling us is that this is a conspiracy that was hatched in fact by Mr. Suresh Chandrakar, and Mukesh Chandrakar of course had been exposing a corruption in a road laying case as a contractor, which in fact had aired on NDTV on the 25th of December, and he was in fact a contributor to the NDTV news channel.
Right, of course, and that had led to an inquiry, of course, in the case, and let's just get you more details on this with my colleague Anurag Dwari, but before that, let's just get your reaction from the SIT.
के द्वारा पत्रकार साथी मुकेश चंद्राकर के हत्या की घटना में शामिल फरार आरोपी सुरेश चंद्राकर की देर रात हैदराबाद में हिरासत में लिया गया। साथ ही साथ इस प्रकरण में अब तक सुरेश चंद्राकर के अलावा 3 आरोपियों की गिरफ्तारी पहले की जा चुकी है, जिसमें रितेश चंद्राकर, दिनेश चंद्राकर एवं महेंद्र रामटेके शामिल हैं। साथ ही साथ मामले में विस्तृत पूछताछ की जा रही है।
Formed to arrest Suresh Chandrakar, 11-member SIT headed by IPS Mayank Gujar, and they have reviewed around 200 CCTV cameras, more than 300 mobile numbers were tracked, and after that the police arrested Suresh Chandrakar from Hyderabad. He was hiding at his driver's place. His bank accounts were frozen, illegal construction owned by Suresh Chandrakar were demolished, and now the police they have arrested Suresh Chandrakar from Hyderabad, and he will be soon brought back to Bijapur.
Right, switching tracks now to the national capital, and it's the Aam Aadmi Party versus the BJP's battle, with the BJP there doubling down on Sheesh Mahal. The BJP has slammed the Aam Aadmi Party over the CAG report with the massive cost of inflation as far as the chief of the Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal, is concerned. The BJP is demanding an account of the expenses. The CAG had raised 139 questions is what the BJP has gone on to claim. The Prime Minister had also said that the Aam Aadmi Party, this is the focus as far as the Mahal of is concerned. And now Kejriwal hitting back there that the Prime Minister is out there to in fact hit out at the Aam Aadmi Party. Let's just listen into what the BJP chief in Delhi, Virendra Deva, had to say.
We are being joined by Delhi BJP President Mr. Virendra Sachdeva. During his press conference, the Delhi BJP has even brought out this large model of Sheesh Mahal, the house of ex-Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Let's go straight to him. Sir, जिस तरीके से देखा जा रहा है, आपने कैग के कुछ रिपोर्ट का हवाला दिया है, आपने बताया है कि जिस तरीके से कैग के रिपोर्ट्स आए हैं वो 2022 तक के ही हैं और उसमें बहुत सारी इरेगुलरिटीज़ हैं, और ये भी आपने बताया है कि इसमें जो इन्वेंटरी है अगर उसको ऐड कर दिया जाए तो कई लाख और जो करोड़ों रुपए जो है वो उसमें बढ़ जाते हैं।
देखिए, कैग की जो पहली रिपोर्ट आई है वो 2022 तक की है। उसमें कई सारे सवाल अरविंद केजरीवाल और पीडब्ल्यूडी डिपार्टमेंट से पूछे गए हैं। उसमें 139 सवाल तो इसी बात के लिए पूछे गए हैं कि इतना बड़ा आलीशान बंगला बनाने के लिए आपने परमिशन किससे ली है। हर व्यक्ति को उसकी कैटेगरी के हिसाब से मकान अलॉट किया जाता है। अरविंद केजरीवाल से पहले मदन लाल खुराना, साहिब सिंह वर्मा, शीला दीक्षित सब किसी न किसी बंगले में रहे हैं, लेकिन अरविंद केजरीवाल को भ्रष्टाचार की इतनी भूख थी, इतना बड़ा आलीशान बंगला बनाते हैं और उस बंगले पर अवैध रूप से बिना सैंक्शन ऑर्डर लिए बार बार पीडब्ल्यूडी से उसमें कंस्ट्रक्शन का काम बढ़ाया जाता है। अभी आप उनका बंगला दिखा रही हैं, ये कारें दिखा रही हैं, मैं इसमें मिसिंग कर रहा हूँ, वो ब्लू वैगन आर दिखाई नहीं दे रही अरविंद केजरीवाल की, जिसे लेके वो घूमते थे। लेकिन गाड़ी नहीं लेने वाले आज 4-4, 6-6 गाड़ियों के मालिक हैं। इस बंगले को बनाते समय जिस तरह से भ्रष्टाचार किया गया है, ये 2022 तक की CAG की रिपोर्ट बता रही है।
Right, Anushka, joining us to get us more on this. Anushka, take us through this new war of words when it comes to the BJP making claims as far as the residence of the ex-Chief Minister of Delhi is concerned, claiming that there was a massive cost inflation when it came to that residence of Arvind Kejriwal in the civil lines area of Delhi.
Well, certainly, Divya, the Delhi BJP has once again confronted the Aam Aadmi Party over the construction of the posh bungalow of ex-Chief Minister that is situated at 6 Flagstaff Road, and has said that the average, estimate has been given around 33.66 crores, but the original figure goes beyond that, and he has also in fact mentioned that the whole construction, if we add everything of the inventory states, the construction figure goes to about 75 to 80 crores. Now, also the first revelation, according to the Delhi BJP, that the CAG report makes is that the PWD, that is the government agency, rather than working as a government agency, was working as a private contractor for the Kejriwal government, and it is a clear matter of give and take between both the Arvind Kejriwal's government and the authority, the PWD. Also, on page number 139, what the CAG report is raising question is regarding the construction of this bungalow without the approval of DU, AC and Delhi Municipal Corporation. And also, if we want to estimate the actual cost of this bungalow, it will require an audit of several departments' accounts and adding the inventory created by PWD on October 11, 2024. Now, they have clearly mentioned, the Delhi BJP, is that the CAG report only states the data till 2022. A lot of renovations were made, a lot of beautification was done, and also Arvind Kejriwal, according to his category, was allotted a bungalow in which he additionally spent a lot of money to rebuild that bungalow. A posh mansion was created at the behest of public's money, public's tax money. And also the BJP has said that Arvind Kejriwal is in fact guilty of every person who put their faith on Anna Hazare, and has also said that all of the money that was involved, all the private contractors, all the players who were involved in building that whole Sheesh Mahal are in fact equally guilty, and investigation should be done. A thorough investigation should in fact be done as to how much money was exactly spent over this whole bungalow. A lot of staff quarters were in fact remade, rebuilt, renovated, and a lot of things were there done on a temporary basis, and a lot of data is in fact missing from the CAG report. The first revelation that the CAG report has also mentioned is that regarding the PWD officials who were in fact, according to BJP, were involved in a give and take relation between the Kejriwal government and them, and Kejriwal had to in fact turn a blind eye over the corruption that was done by the PWD officials on the behest of building that bungalow and giving all the permission that were required to build the bungalow that has now been dubbed as Sheesh Mahal by the opposition. Back to studio.
Right, to get to know more on this, we have Mihir Mishra, political analyst, joining us. Mihir, when we talk about that CAG report on Delhi former Chief Minister's residence in the civil lines area, the cost of renovation that went up by 4 times. We're talking about that original cost, which is supposed to be a little over 8 crores, went up to over 33 crores. And from what we're hearing is that 1.81 crore rupees was paid to consultants alone. So what would you say in regard to that report that's come out, where approvals were sidestepped for higher billing? And we're talking about, the kind of money that was spent, in terms of especially the curtains, the gym. How would you respond to that?
Actually, Divya, intent is very important in politics, actually. And we all know that Delhi is, just polls are around. So timing, the timing of this calculated kind of leakage of this report, that is suspicious. Okay. And as far as we all know, 2 days ago, also Prime Minister Modi gave speech, and for 43 minutes, he constantly accused Kejriwal, Mr. Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party convener that blah 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 blah. But actually, this which I can only say at this point of time that this is a media creation and narrative, something like that. You have all the agencies, you have, and you all say how blatantly this government, central government, used this all kind of tools. We still remember that CBI. Remark, Supreme Court remark, case, pilot, something like that. So all agencies have all the tools. You go and you inquire this thing if you think this is something like that. And Arvind Kejriwal, former Chief Minister of Delhi, he himself clarified this thing. He clearly, in a very strong rebuttal, he said, "Sheesh Balribak, one who builds the house for 2,700 crores for himself, travels in an airplane worth ₹8,700 and who wears a tailor suit, talking about..."
Sir, the allegations against Arvind Kejriwal is from muffler man to mansion man. Of course, when you talk about this splurging as far as this residence of the former Chief Minister is concerned, in comparison to the promises of simplicity, that is what Arvind Kejriwal speaks of. How do you justify 96 lakh rupees which was spent on curtains, 39 lakh rupees spent on kitchen equipment, and more than 18 lakhs spent on gym equipment at the residence of the former Chief Minister, who only promises of simplicity. He says he's a simple man. How does this justify this?
Same formula we should apply also on Prime Minister Modi. He was claiming that he is chowkidar. Okay? Now what is the kind of suits he is wearing? And opposition has same allegations against him. We should not forget that. We also know that we are just, on the verge of election. Delhi is going to poll, deciding to who is going to rule Delhi next. And, since last 12 years, there is only one political party which actually worked there on the ground. As far as we all know, they are not talking about development. They are not talking about, mohalla clinics. They are not talking about schools. They are not talking about education. They are not talking about infra. They are only
saying... Sir, but this is Delhi's taxpayer money. The money of the Delhiites has gone into it. Of course, with the BJP, they're reacting, saying that this should now become a tourist spot because the taxpayers should come and see where their money was actually spent on. Because this kind of money, these exaggerated figures that we're talking about, for any layman who doesn't really even understand how much it costs for the services that have been provided to making of that residence, for the renovation of that residence, it's absolutely absurd and unheard of. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Okay.
And with that, we're slipping into a very short break. We're back with a whole lot more on the other side. Do stay with us.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something.
Let's get you the latest as far as the markets are concerned. The markets stumbled in trade with the Nifty and the Sensex declining nearly 1% with the spotlight on earnings and macro data. To get to know more on this, we have Sakshi joining us. Sakshi, what's really causing this decline? Is the virus that China is hit by have anything to do with this?
Well, first, like you said, markets tumbling in trade, the Nifty and the Sensex declining nearly 1%, the Sensex now tumbling over 700 points as we speak, the Nifty tumbling over 200 points. We have seen across sectors really the pressure being witnessed, or across heavyweights as well as broader markets, we can see the stocks trading in the red. So now, as far as what really has led to this decline, well, we spoke to experts and they believe that, yes, remember, we are expecting Q3 earnings, we are expecting a lot of macro data in the coming week. So those factors are impacting the market sentiment. Having said that, like you mentioned, one cannot negate what is happening across the world. So global cues are also being tracked very, very closely by analysts as well as all alike as far as investors are concerned as well. So for the moment, markets clearly reacting to global news, the spotlight on earnings and macro data. Remember, many are not expecting this earnings season to be as strong, and that really is denting sentiment.
Right. Thank you so much, Sakshi, for joining us with those details. Switching to international news now, and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is expected to announce his resignation as the leader of the Liberal Party. The Globe and Mail is reporting that Trudeau has, of course, been under major pressure from elected lawmakers in his party to quit for months now. It has increased further when his finance minister and deputy prime minister stepped down. This is, quite a blow as far as the Liberal Party is concerned, which is becoming highly unpopular by the day. Trudeau's resignation would trigger a race for the party leadership, with the winner becoming the Prime Minister. My colleague Maha has the details.
A lot of his party members also blame Justin Trudeau specifically for the unpopularity of the Liberal Party. They feel that the economic situation in the country was not properly handled. There was rising inflation, housing crisis, because of which the party has been left vulnerable now electorally. And that is why there were calls for a leadership change in the Liberal Party. These calls have been made for the last over 6 months. Members of his party, as well as members of parliament of the Liberal Party, have been calling for his resignation as the party leader and have been asking for a fresh leadership to take them into the next election. But his situation became even more tenuous after his close ally, the Deputy Prime Minister and the former Finance Minister, Chrystia Freeland, resigned. She said that Justin Trudeau wanted to change her ministry, but she chose to step down from the cabinet instead. Since then, the NDP that had initially been supporting the Trudeau government, the minority government from the outside, but they had, remember, withdrawn that outside support in September. However, they were supporting the government on a case-by-case basis in Parliament. The leader of that party, Jagmeet Singh, had also said that he will bring a non-confidence motion against the Trudeau government come the 27th of January, when the House of Commons would have met again. That is when the situation for Justin Trudeau became absolutely difficult to continue with. Justin Trudeau realized that his party is not going to survive this non-confidence motion, because another important opposition party Bloc Québécois also said that they will not be supporting the government this time around. And it is under these circumstances now that reports are coming in, specifically Globe and Mail reporting, citing 3 sources, that Justin Trudeau is going to step aside as the leader of the Liberal Party, which means that he will no longer remain the Prime Minister. However, there is no clarity yet on who could take over and whether this is going to save the government, because the NDP has clearly said that even if there is a change in leadership, they will continue to go ahead with their non-confidence motion, and because they want this government to go immediately and fresh elections to be.
Right, and to know more on this, thank you so much, Maha. We have Daniel Boardman joining us, a Canadian journalist. Thank you so much for speaking with us here on NDTV. Daniel, would you say this was on expected lines and Trudeau's resignation was inevitable?
It's a bit of a strange thing, because if it was any other leader of any other party at any other point in Canadian history, he would have been forced to resign, I mean, years ago. But especially like the most recent scandals with, his own deputy prime minister saying pulling the whole "you can't fire me, I quit" shtick. And the fact that over half his own caucus has come out against him. I mean, any other leader of any other party would have been forced to resign instantly. But this is Justin Trudeau. This is the modern Liberal Party. This is modern Canada. And he seems to have no shame in any way. So he's very willing to sort of grasp onto power by any means necessary. So the rumors that he's set to resign could be true. I mean, it wouldn't be shocking. I mean, any other politician in this scenario would be forced to resign. The government is completely untenable. But in sort of a weird way, the fact that Canadian parties can be whipped and very much controlled by their leaders. So between the two of them, between Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh, if both of those two don't want an election, it is still possible to kind of hold out until October. But if it was any other person, they would have been forced to resign instantly. But he is so, I don't know, I guess narcissism is the word. He is incredibly narcissistic that he's refused to take any accountability for his actions. So we do know there's lots of pressure on him to resign, but there's always been a lot of pressure on him to resign over the last few years due to like the massive amount of just scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal where, from week to week, it's some new major scandal. So I wouldn't be shocked if he does resign today, but I also wouldn't be surprised if this just turns out to be rumors, because again, there's two factions within the Liberal Party now, ones that want him gone and ones that want him to stay. So this is just a rumor, and it's not so far-fetched that someone who's part of the anti-Trudeau faction could leak a rumor to the Globe and Mail to put more pressure on him to try and force him to resign and enforce a leadership. But again, this is all rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic for the Liberal Party. They're projected to get 6 seats, and if they change Trudeau as leader, maybe they could get 15 seats out of 333. I mean, they're still going to get obliterated electorally. So, what's the difference between 6 and 15?
Right, Daniel, also reports coming in of Trudeau's advisors trying to save him. Will they manage to pull it off is the big question. Will he really remain as the Prime Minister till they don't find another selected leader? What really is the way forward?
We're all kind of in uncharted territories here. Like, no one's really sure. Like, it might be technically possible to stay on as Prime Minister, but like resign as leader. But I don't. Like in practicality, that's never happened. When you resign as leader of the party, there's a new interim leader of the party, and they would then become prime minister. But again, all of this is very, very unpopular with Canadians. Canadians know that Donald Trump's administration is coming in on the 20th. He does despise Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland and pretty much everyone in the Liberal Party for good reason. I mean, they spent the last 10 years, 8 to 9 years, let's say, just Trump bad as a key part of their foreign and domestic policy. So it wouldn't be shocking if again, the Liberals get in and pull some sort of shenanigans where he's still prime minister but not leader. But it would make no sense. Again, we're all in our uncharted territory here. The government should have collapsed months ago, and should collapse any minute now. But it requires the leader of the Liberal Party to have no shame, no love of country, no love of party, no love of anything other than himself. And that's kind of what we had. So this is pretty indicative of Justin Trudeau, just no regard for even his own Liberal Party, which he claims to care about. So he'll burn down the country. We all know that, but now he showed he'll burn down the Liberal Party, just to, I don't know, be king of Canada for a few more months. Like, I think he really loves being president of the G7 this year, and calling him president. He's going around calling himself president of the G7. This is things Trudeau loves. Trudeau loves international nonsense. He wants to be chief UN ambassador to social justice, climate change feelings. This has always been a major goal of his, is to be like internationally recognized as some sort of vapid international head of something. So with the G7 set to come to Canada, I mean, this is sort of his fantasy, is to just call himself captain and president of the G7. And very much, if you can tell in Canada, he very much enjoys declaring himself president of the G7 right now. So I think it's crazy to sound, that kind of is, I think, his primary motivation going forward, is he wants to have the G7 in Canada and, sort of pretend he's king of the world for a week. But is that enough to keep the entire government in place? We'll find out. But again, we're in uncharted territory in Canada, because any other leader would have been forced out months ago by some of these scandals. But he's just kind of just showed that if I just ignore the scandals and blame it all on Stephen Harper or Pierre Poilievre or Donald Trump or someone else, or Indian foreign interference, right? It's the Indian government's reason why I'm unpopular with Canadians, so I'm not going to resign because Canadians love me. They're just being tricked by Modi or something into not liking me. These are all semi-possible Trudeau explanations to his behavior.
Right. Thank you so much, Daniel, for joining us with all those details. We will keep coming back to you for more on that. Moving on now to news coming in from the United States, and it's National Security Advisor of the US, Jake Sullivan, who is set to visit India to take stock of the India-US initiative on critical and emerging technologies. This is going to be a landmark initiative as far as the two countries are concerned in areas of emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, and as well as semiconductors, biotech, and defense innovation. This will be the last high-profile visit to New Delhi from the outgoing administration of Joe Biden. And to get to know more on this, we have my colleague Vishal joining us. Vishal, take us through what all is on the agenda.
So as far as the latest reports are concerned, Jake Sullivan will be speaking with Indian counterparts on various issues such as artificial intelligence, space, civil obedience, and also the fact that China is supposed to be constructing humongous dams in Tibet. So India is also concerned with these projects. These are supposed to be the world's biggest dams, and India and other countries are concerned that there could be severe environmental impacts due to these construction of these dams. So US and other countries in the Pacific region, they're all concerned and they want China to respond to it. India has also conveyed that message that it is concerned about the construction of these dams. So these are some of the biggest points that could be discussed in the meet. So this is mostly a handover meeting, because this will be the last meeting between the Biden administration officials and Indian officials, because soon Donald Trump will be the president and he will have his set of diplomats and officials. So this will probably be the last meeting between both the sides. So a lot of areas will be coming up. As I mentioned, environmental issues and all, and artificial intelligence, space, all of that will probably figure in this visit.
Right. Thank you so much, Vishal, for joining us with those details. Moving on to the Golden Globes, and it was Payal Kapadia who was nominated at the Golden Globes with 2 nominations for her movie All We Imagine as Light. Kapadia lost the Best Director award to Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, and also her chance for Making It. She, of course, did create history when it came to the first Indian person who has, in fact, been nominated in the Best Director category. She was nominated also in the Best Motion Picture Non-English Language. She did lose out on those two, but has created history at the Golden Globes. Well, the Best Motion Picture goes to The Brutalist, and it's Zoe Saldana who won for her supporting role in Emilia Perez. Emilia Perez won big at the Golden Globes, and it was Demi Moore who won her first Golden Globe in 45 years. She won her Best Performance by a female actor in a motion picture, musical or comedy. Well, my colleague Abira has details of who all won and who all lost.
Award season has kick-started with the Golden Globes 2025, and the big winners today have been Emilia Perez, who has won 4 Globes today, and we have Shogun, who has won 4 Globes. Let me just take you through. Shogun has won Best Male Actor, Best Female Actor in a Drama Series, TV Series, Best Performance by a Male Actor in a Supporting Role, Best TV Drama, while Emilia Perez, the film, has won Best Supporting Actress, Best Non-English Language Film, Best Original Song, Best Musical or Comedy Film. We all know Payal Kapadia had been nominated, and she has made history just being nominated, because she's the first Indian filmmaker being nominated as Best Director. Her film All We Imagine as Light is being loved by everybody all over the world at different international film festivals. She has been winning awards. She was also in the list of Barack Obama's must-watch film of 2024. So, she's already making us proud by just being nominated. She did lose out to both the categories, but nonetheless, we are extremely proud of her. But other than that, let me take you through what happened at the Golden Globes. Some great moments coming in. My favorite personally was the Demi Moore coming on stage and giving a heartfelt speech. She said that it is after 45 years of her career that she has come on stage and accepted an award. She has been given an award. She also said at one point of her career, around 30 years back, she was told by a filmmaker she's only a popcorn actress, and that's when she lost all hope of ever winning any award. But today there she was. She won it for the substance, and she stood there and gave a wonderful speech, something that everybody would remember for years to come.
Right, Demi Moore there winning that award, of course, looking $1 million. And of course, also on the red carpet was Selena Gomez, who made an appearance for the first time with her fiancé, and it was Timothée Chalamet, who was seen with his girlfriend Kylie Jenner at the Golden Globes. So thank you so much, Abira, for getting us those details. We will keep tracking more as far as the Golden Globes after party is concerned. For now, we're slipping into a short break.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Stormy start as far as the assembly session in Tamil Nadu is concerned. On the very first day, AAP-BJP MLAs were evicted, and it was the governor who stormed out because of the national anthem that wasn't played after the state anthem. Turbulent stormy session, and the governor there, demanding that the national anthem be played after the state anthem, and which is why, without giving that customary address at the assembly session of Tamil Nadu, the governor, R.N. Ravi, stormed out. Formula E race case Pro picks up as the BRS leader KTR appeared before the ACB but left within minutes because his legal counsel, his legal team, wasn't allowed. And Suresh Chandrakar, the prime accused in the murder of Mukesh Chandrakar, has finally been arrested. He was apparently absconding since the body was found in that septic tank, but he apparently was hiding at the residence of his driver.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
It's Delhi's Sheesh Mahal war ahead of the elections in the national capital, with the BJP attacking the ex-chief minister over the amount spent. As far as the bungalow is concerned, this comes close on the heels of the BJP saying make that into a picnic spot. Stormy start to Tamil Nadu's assembly session. AIA-DMK MLAs were evicted from the state assembly for carrying placards and badges in regard to the alleged rape case at the Anna University in Chennai. And a turbulent start to the assembly session in Tamil Nadu, with the governor there walking out because the national anthem was not played after the state anthem, which resulted in R.N. Ravi walking out. Suresh Chandrakar, the prime accused in the murder of Mukesh Chandrakar, a Chhattisgarh journalist, has been taken into custody by the SIT from Hyderabad. He was apparently hiding out at his driver's residence. Markets tumble in trade. Nifty and Sensex decline over 1%. The Sensex slides over 1,000 points. Embattled Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is likely to resign as the Liberal Party leader amid growing calls within the party for him to step aside. It's still unclear whether Trudeau will resign immediately or stay on as the Prime Minister until a new leader is selected. Let's get you the latest as far as the war between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP is concerned. The BJP doubling down on the Sheesh Mahal, with the BJP slamming the Aam Aadmi Party over the CAG report regarding the massive cost inflation by Arvind Kejriwal for the renovation of his residence in Civil Lines area of the national capital. The BJP demanding an account of the expense, and the CAG that raised 139 questions. What the BJP has gone on to say, of course, Arvind Kejriwal hitting back at the BJP there. Of course, this is in regard to the kind of money that was spent in terms of the renovation and the original cost that went up 4 times, from a little under 8 crore rupees to over 33 crore rupees, which was finally spent in the renovation, including 96 lakh rupees that was spent on just curtains alone. Well, let's just get you what really Virendra Sachdeva of the